Held a chrome nickel 9, I came in nick of time to survive. Got high, rolling 3 out of dime. Started moving bags, had it clicking like the starter bag. Fiends burning glass for steam without a dab. Petty jokes, don't be your burger, and get your pocketbook. Low crook, cash shorty bait you, I throw the hook. Could tell a sheep and wolf cloth to slide with the words. No action, it's just a bunch of verbs. Lead the crowd, but some rather crowd than lead. Cause they couldn't boss with a pair of Hugos. It's not in the jeans, Parasucos, you get lined up. Have a shorty do it, call me Brother Fugo. Cause when that thing flicker, you couldn't even stick with a wicker. Exposed like an ankle in a slipper. Call me the victor, it's not all cat bringing you doom. This wave, I'm on tsunami over the monsoons. Started off from nobody, now we on top floors. Should never let high another get in and stop yours. Started off from nobody, now we on top floors. Should never let high another get in and stop yours. Don't let the hair fool you, I'm half cuckoo. My train of thought choo-choo that keep me on my toes, no tutu. Oh, you keep frontin' it'd be they knew you. I stick to the script with extra clips like Hulu. Nothing coming free when they try and take you for granted. The mimic to tell a fatherly style when that's apparent. These waves damage your riptide, go play the shore. Kings County, they're rotten apple, I'm from the core. With metal clap, the OG said, one thing worth more than money is your time. And I can second that, I don't waste a minute. Niggas is still an hour, can have all the power and still be known as a coward. Seen heads get V-necked into a split. That ride waves until your ball flip. This is how raw get, without the ill stench. You fish guts, looking fly, never slipping cause I'm gripped up.
We ain't singing, we bring the drama. We ain't singing, we bring the drama. We ain't singing, we bring the drama. We ain't singing, we bring drama.
Drama with the team, you know I'm right by the side. I lead it with 5, it's better like the front of the ride. I'm never something more or less it's a lie. I eat you inside, I keep it up front like the shortest in line. Got pulled like the fire alarm. I'm thinking it's on, at you front and center, nigga, army strong. I'm from Brownsville, right in the frontier, the hood. You get knocked, thrown off the frontier on your hood. With that door white, plug front ended like a porch light. If I front a piece of a fiend, gotta pay twice. No conversations, book a front and I'm a leader, but it still catch me out on the battlefront with the heater. Deep waves, my forehead is a beachfront. Niggas frontin' with smiles like they go teeth done. Frontin' and get your front lace like style waves, but I'd rather display the storefronts and eat the lid.
You know it's drama. You want drama.
Time to clean up rap, I ball back, I don't boom bap, a backpack, I back slap, my background the street, the ghetto, my back dry, you'll get back dropped, don't back down unless you shots and run, catch yourself from behind, now you turtle back, I get it jumping where them hurdles at, flipping green paperbacks, you roll something, I need my paper back, or catch me your lady like I have a pay for that, y'all niggas wave saddle, no horseback, same style, like 50 niggas in hatchbacks, move forward from whoever set back with hate, cause I throw back shots like I need AA. Put it forward, but like the ring hunt, you got half back. Because the energy ain't match back. Watch for the fans, call the chiropracts the way they set back. And backstab, no cutback, so fall back.
You know it's drama. You want drama. The pain, the drama, the drama.
For the feel, baby, keep it real, baby, real, baby, Surprise, my post speaking. My third getting no shut eye. You stay blinking. I'm LinkedIn, no.com. Rap dudes dressing like everyday ComCon. I play along, ice hard. Never roll with keys like go-karts. Get it in while you wait on the work like spare parts. Flow guards on beat, leave angel dust. It's a bar relay when the track we dust. Cream we dust, so love is lost with the proceeds. Never ask to proceed, I take lead. But never leading in the front to get lined up. Still any situation that I'm hanging with pine nuts. Don't play tough, trying to act on the scene. They come to the grain and take the 9-9 and swing. I never forge was handwritten. You busy, I ain't doing nothing but call waiting. I get busy. Ain't with the court clashes, the streets of Judge Mathis. You couldn't tell he a rat, you catfish. I don't swag a drip, you master simp. Shout outs to Pit, I only kill beats, never attempt. Rag the grip, easy throwaway, no prints. Don't get treated like a cigarette, drag the flick. It's crack valves and ducking metal projectiles. Most only speak with their hands, don't mean the textile. You want the love from those who think they're above you. Trying to fit in somebody's jigsaw, I leave you puzzled in them hugs. Start turning the mugs and them haters be salty, so they throwing them slugs. It's a rush like 5 p.m. and 5 within. You could buy your wins, but your future's dim. You gotta work for it, but you peeling the perk porn. Get your worth going, keep ignoring whatever slow.
Keeps it real, keeps it real, keeps it real, keeps it real, keeps it real. He's a real one, he's a real one. Keeps it real, keeps it, keeps it, keeps it.
From the field, baby.
Too many real ones out there. You're the real one. Ain't too many real ones. You're the real one.
D-Bill, baby. K, baby.
Ain't too many real ones out there. You're the real one. Ain't too many real ones out there.
Matters. Black history month, we let it go right past us. The crabs in the bucket, yeah, those might scratches. The unpimpable butterfly flow like cashes. Some bastards try to blackball shady as shit and wax them. We fresh out the atrium dip. When you lit, 5, 9, 80%. Radiant wet, some niggas tried to play me, I flip. Handsprings and sunnies, can't speak for the dummies. I'm getting paid in full, but you ain't leaving with Sunny. Nigga, run me the bag, Paul. Look in the mirror and ask God. Jump us up with the truck with the Jaguar. Ass far. Your goes, niggas looking like the Biscos. But I ain't tripping, swift toes. I'm swinging with fist clothes at the end goal. It's for my kinfolk, it's that for your syringe flow.
Just a quick mo, convicts, a flip roll. Nobody got your back, who ride? We just too dope, you so snatched. We caught with that whole pack, he was fake. Undercover snake that turned rap, it's a pack. Most real felt, ain't got a speed card to awake the sheep. We led by both peeps, cold heat. Light him up, left for froze feet. Baritone, Barry up in the street, stay low key. My dirt clean, my stencil couldn't be traced. Hit the right on the wall, it's a pencil I erase. Cause failure make me Jackson, man, hell yeah. Oh my, you want your box crushed, then I'm the bailer. A cold flow, but still working the stove. In my good clothes, whipping the white like Django. If you gotta say you the culture, you a vulture. The rap poacher, from the gut like an ulcer.
I keep the toaster in the holster, blowing like the intercoastal, they emotional. Fuck them though, ever since I could remember, my bars been insufferable. My style's peaking higher than anything that can puff and blow. So like David Ruffin knows, the temptation Temptation is real. Beauty is only skin deep, and I've been chasing the mill. Handshaking with snakes, giving papes to bill collectors. Living on the straight and narrow so the jakes don't build connections. Create the fields and sessions, sensationally dropping jewels that's not in their schools of thought. They ain't trying to see us with tuber rocks. It's more about the juice they got, less about the news they in. Binary thinking, gotta make somebody lose to win. Go and play your 2K then. I'll be sipping Douce with my nigga in the cut while he wake and bake like a souffle. Ain't no disrespect, but I don't really care what you say if you ain't ready to shine when they say you're up like the UK.
Yeah. She hotter than 2 in the afternoon in June, but I spring off the way that she bloom. I keep the sore legs, skin beam, cause she a ray of light. Others with short temps and maybe you Fahrenheit. Yo, she shine bright, but I don't get tan dark. She light in the mood, remind me of in the blunt spark. Deep when I pull, we get it cooked in no stove top. Show it the way, not just the ones on my head top. Ops be mad, they stay muggy cause you giving off heat. A hot box, getting smoke to a beat. Movie on the beach is sick, cause she do it under the weather. I'm like a cool G, the way that I sweater. I need her, when she want the D, I let her. Cold summer treat, ice cream lady, you sprinkle heat. Fire pepper, the sweet, you chop it up about cheese, no deli. And how I see it, she my cocoa mango cherry, midsummer love. Hey, yo, where did he fly? If you was my midsummer love, we be hotter than what's in the sky. We can give it a try. 4 seasons, but for now the summer is mine. You ask why? Girl, it's because you're my midsummer love. Like something cold, you the flow when the feeling is dry. Girl, it's because you're my midsummer love. Ice cream split up and in the baby, I'm a provide. Never throwing the shade, she let the shine in. The energy got me like a shaman. Ritual trance, sitting quiet like the fire and glance at each other, reading under the fan. You made me a fan. Girl, you the hottest and them others is humid, it's sober. How she stepping is moving, the body language are fluent. Wearing each other out, the style be spoke. Even with the AC on, she get these heat strokes. Not all about flesh, the temperature up and doubt test, but never blew you cool or hot breath. No spicy talk unless I got a back on walk. Cooler than summer nights on boardwalks. And yeah, it's a bunch of skin out, but I'm a rider, I won't skid out. We got high grade, that's just mid out. Feel I'm in the sauna, but drenched in the aura, euphoric. Midsummer love, you in the touring. Hey yo, where did he fly? If you was my midsummer love, we be hotter than what's in the sky. We can give it a try. 4 seasons, but for now the summer is mine. You ask why? Girl, it's because you're my midsummer love. Like something cold, you the flow when the feeling is dry. Girl, it's because you're my midsummer love. Ice cream split up and in the baby, I'ma provide.
I got $10.
Get you 2 bottle holders.
That's good stuff, right?
You tried all the rest? Now try the best.
Are you sure? I mean, you know it for a fact, right?
But if you don't like it, you come back. Jake give you back your $10. Send you on your way. Just don't be coming back here again, understand what I'm saying?
Guaranteed to be in trouble. Hell no, without your daddy or your mama. We here, y'all. Guaranteed to be in trouble. Hell no, without your daddy or your mama. We here, y'all. Guaranteed to be in trouble. Hell no, without your daddy or your mama. We here, y'all. Guaranteed to be in trouble. Hell no, without your daddy or your mama. We here, y'all.
A dark night, but the stake no Batman. I'm trying to get the scoop like Fat Man. Know where the cell's at. So down, sticking the Tic Tacs. And the more hand in hands than church claps. Always made stacks in any town I ever put my foot in. Just pitching off hard 8 balls. A dot cutting and sitting. Gets foul, making this kind of chicken. Serving on another block, and they might get the flicking. Poured 100 at 32. Took it OT. Bag 50s at 0.5. Made 9 G's. Couldn't pretend, but with sample cutting no P. repeat routes, giving it out while standing in front of detox. Keep the fireworks so every read's July. If you leave your EBT with me, it's interest applied. With your Sherman on the corner when the chips on the line. Watch for the swine that's trying to stop the way that we grind. They call me Pac-Man, yeah, that's me. I take it out to the floor. Can't re-up with me. You get the best deal of quality and quantity cheap. This ain't no hobby, I don't probably finish less in a week. They call me Pac-Man, yeah, that's me. I take it out to the floor. Can't re-up with me. You get the best deal of quality and quantity cheap. This ain't no hobby, I don't probably finish less in a week. Bust a corner off the brick, you can bag the debris. I seen the fiend jaw lock from the head off the key. When Hades was 400 an ounce, y'all on Broadway, I went to Wadsworth, paying lesser amounts. Did the hood good, Curry on the corner, point three plays. I was selling out the Knicks before Barclays. Never proof nothing, everything in the sock or in the chip bag stash, somewhere I could watch. Tie sandwich bags and knots. I ain't talking shadow when I try to get the oil to drop down from the pot. Don't put it all in the water, save some for the snorters. Keep business cards and residue on the borders. Played bar stools, sold it in grad schools. Got my chef method was ghosts, cause cash rules. Get rid of the work before the feds peep the stilo. They won't leave me alone, cause I flip for De Niro. They call me Pac-Man, yeah, that's me. I take it out to the floor. Can't re-up with me. You get the best deal of quality and quantity cheap. This ain't no hobby, I don't probably finish less in a week. They call me Pac-Man, yeah, that's me. I take it out to the floor. Can't re-up with me. You get the best deal of quality and quantity cheap. This ain't no hobby, I don't probably finish less in a week.
Yeah, play the other side of that tape right now. And in her was found the blood of the prophets and the saints. What was it? It says the lamp of light shall not shine in Uncle Sam's ass no more, and the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall not be heard in you anymore. For your merchants were the great men of the church. Could you play the other side of that tape?
Yeah.
We back once again. It's your boy Perfect, and it's the Perfect Timing Podcast Network, and we back again with The World Is Yours. It's yours. It's yours podcast, hosted by your boy Perfect Timing from the Perfect Timing Podcast Network. Where this show is brought to you, for you, by you, and is funded by the listeners, for the listeners, produced by the listeners, for the listeners, by the listeners, for the listeners, by the listeners, for the listeners, by the listeners. Autonomy, because I love you so much. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be determined. I want you to be motivated. So I give you all the power. The power is yours. I'm putting all the power in your hands, brothers. I'm putting all the power in your hands, baby girl. The choice is yours. It's yours. It's yours. Perfect Timing Podcast in the building right now, man, with The World Is Yours podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's a donation podcast. It's meant to be all it is to be. You know what I'm saying? You got to participate. You know what I'm saying? So the podcast runs like this, man. It's generated by your donations. It's inspired by your donations. I got to be a brand new ticker down there. So y'all get the ticking and talking. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my good brother, Sunclaw, in the building. Salute. Peace to the guys, man. Yeah, man, I see a lot of the 5.0 Cool Table Brothers playing hooky. You know, Sunclaw, Roger came across my mentions today, and Roger don't come across my mentions, but he came across my mentions today, and I took a look, and I see a little bit of changes in the description and things like that. You know, I see my influences all over this manosphere. You know what I'm saying? But the conversation hadn't changed, and you know what I'm saying? Roger sent me a cash app the other day. Roger called me. You know, he's been very congratulatory and everything about the success of the show. You know what I mean? So he's been very supportive. And when I don't know why I came up in my mentions, but I listened to the conversation. Black Guru was on the panel. I haven't heard Black Guru in a long time, and some of the faithfuls were up there, so it was good to hear Black Guru's voice. But conversation was the same conversation. Pastor $40 in the building. The conversation was the same conversation about women, and even in the description it says women, marriage, divorce, relationships, and I'm like, man. It's like a drug, you know what I'm saying? It's like being a drug dealer at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? I don't have anything against Roger, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I gotta talk about it because it what's happening with me is that I'm over here, I'm presenting, I've had to take the Perfect Man Show off YouTube. You know, I understand that I may have to bring it back to promote it on Patreon, but I understand what I've created. And I think God showed me, because I haven't seen Roger's show in a long time, not to put it down, but there's a huge contrast. Think about The Perfect Man. The Perfect Man Show is a show truly geared to what the manosphere was supposed to be. You know, 5.0 came first. 5.0 came first. The songs came first. The cool table concept came from the Roger panel and Nameless protagonist. I championed the cool table with the understanding of what Nameless talked about, the in group and the out group, and how to implement that. Because I understand gang politics and how the Crips became the same in group, and how Bow Wow started Crip walking, being from Atlanta, and how everybody started wearing blue and saying cuz, just because Snoop talked a certain way. So I understood the in-group, out-group politics, so I coined the cool table, and I knew that we had to make masculinity cool. And then you saw manosphere change. You saw the manosphere change. But, like, Roger has some hard times, right? And to get his channel back and to get back the popularity and to get back the donations, it's funny what people will lean on. You know what I'm saying? So it's back to the same old drugs. It's back to the same old hat. Let's talk about relationships. Let's talk about black women. And when I came on the today, I've been wanting to hear Black Guru, but again, Black Guru's ragging on black women. Black Guru's talking about there's no community and there's no need for black love. And yesterday I talked to you about we don't believe in black love. We don't believe in black love. We don't believe in black love, and we don't honor and respect black men who honor and love and respect black women. They get shit upon in this community. So this is a channel with the man who's not married, who's actually single. It's funny when you think about it. It's funny, man. It's really some drug dealing crack mentality. And no disrespect to Roger, you know what I mean? But it's bullshit. We got to stop doing this. And we got to be man. If we're going to call people out on the jabby wabby, we got to call each other out on our bullshit. And what I heard today, and I'm not attacking, I don't know why it came up in my mentions. And I say this with all love and respect, but I would say the brother Roger and the brothers on the panel, man, and the pandemic, I don't understand. Okay, let me get back to the Perfect Man Show is such a contrast to this conversation of relationships and the black woman ain't shit. The Perfect Man Show is what the manosphere was supposed to be, which is why it was preceded by 5.0. And then 5.0 brought about the cool table, which came from Nameless. And then the Perfect Man Show was born out of that. The Rock was born out of the Perfect Man Show because we needed the foundation for the Perfect Man Show. The Perfect Man Show was directly speaking to men every day. Every day it was talking to men elevating men, improving men, not about relationships. It's not going to have marriage or divorce in the description. That should be, if anyone is wondering why Perfect is doing what he's doing, why Perfect has changed, God is the reason why. God is good, man. And see, I made, you know what's so good about God? Because I pray on my podcast, I pray in real life, and these decisions are inspired by God. I get the confirmation afterwards. It's scary in the beginning, y'all. It's not easy. I have to be brave. I have to be faithful to persevere. Every time, every fight that I've had, people, Mike Tyson tell you, people think the people who are fighters, just because we might win, that don't mean it's not a fearful thing. Every fight you have, Mike Tyson said, I'm afraid every time, every fight. The difference between me and you is I just fight the fight. You let your fear overcome you. I swallow the fear and I fight the fight because I know the fight has to be fight, win or lose. See, I'm not caught up in the victory. I'm not even caught up in the battle. The battle was part of life. Losing is part of life. My coaching comes from me being a loser. My coaching comes from the losing. The focus of the Perfect Man Show was on you. So I had to take it away. I got to put it somewhere. And now we have the Water's Yours podcast again. Now, not only the focus on you, but it's inspired by you, produced by you, and funded by you. So there will be no show if the men in the manosphere don't wake up. If the men in the manosphere do not recognize what is important, like Love Dorsey say, what do you want, men? What do you really want, men? Do you want to talk about the women? Because there's panels for you to do your pity parties. Even Rael was on the panel. Rael works in mental health, talking about, you want to talk about Pastor $40, but for some reason, Rael, you don't come here. Alonzo comes here, but Rael, you won't come here where the conversation is progressive. You stand in the soup, in the mud. Ain't no help being done to them hard-headed knuckleheads over there. The progression is in 5.0. So how can you talk shit about Pastor when you stay on that panel? In the muck, in stagnation. SoundCloud, do you hear Angry Man stealing all of my content? Do you hear Green Gorilla stealing all of my content? Do you hear the Bishop and these niggas? Right now, last night, Angry Man, the thing about it is that it don't come across the same way because I get my shit, it's divinely inspired. Like when I'm passionate and I'm speaking this, it's coming from the rock. It's rooted in the spirit. It's rooted in the scripture and foundation. So when I talked about the separation that's occurring and I preached a sermon about the weed versus the wheat, and I actually grounded it in scripture and I told you about how the master had haters come and sow weed amongst his field. Now think about the complexity of that when we talk about the trolls and what's been happening to my channel. Because I had speculated what's been going on with my channel, but Choke No Joke really revealed it to me because I'm like, I'm small. I don't think I'm that important, right? But Choke No Joke says, people are purposely going live when I go live, and they're talking behind the scenes and telling individuals not to watch my channel and telling individuals to go live at the same time. Now, I have been speculating that because I see people changing the time in which they go live, but I can't be for sure, right? But it felt a certain type of way because I see my viewership changing. As my viewership increase, I see behavior changing and then my viewership changing. So I said, okay, Choke No Joke, the same thing. So this is not foreign. This is just the way the crab in the barrel YouTube melanated people move. The melanated YouTube individuals, this is how they move. See, this is why I did the story about black men being trolls. I don't believe we can afford trolls at this time. I think there's a lot of work to do, which is why I created the Perfect Man Show. But what I saw today, even in the description, what really spoke to me is the boldness and the brashness of the description. Like Pastor $40 put in the chat, never been married, never had a kid, but in the description it says marriage, divorce. It's like I don't want to insult because there was 150 people in the chat and I want to help. I truly do, but it's laughable, man. It's laughable, man. Let me highlight this comment and let me say it again. I love math. Men love math. Men love logic and science. We're logical. We're scientifical. Do you see what this statement says? Now, how can this statement, how do you make this jive, men? Make this jive for me. Can you do a Venn diagram? Can you see the congruency in someone teaching you about, and with the boldness to put in the description, marriage, divorce, relationships? I'm no fool. What, how it go? It may be bugs on you, but ain't no bugs on me. Oh, 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 oh. It may be bugs on you, but ain't no bugs on me. I pray for a direction. I pray also for a reckoning. Perfect timing came to bring a reckoning, to cause a separation. Angry Man is talking about the weeds and the wheat, but he didn't go to the scripture. The weeds and the wheat talk that Angry Man gave last night doesn't come. Angry Man say, I don't talk out of my ass. Then you got to quote the scripture, Angry Man. If you're not talking out of your ass, then you have to quote the scripture of where the separation of weeds and the wheat came from. Now think about the complexity of someone who would come to the master's fields and not burn down the wheat, not steal my wheat, but instead take the time to sow weeds into my fields. That's a hater for real. Brownsburg said jive. Can somebody let Brownsburg know what I mean by jive? Remember the movie about the boats jive ho? How does it jive when a man who has never been married, Brownsburg, who's never been in a relationship, but has a podcast and a description telling you that he's teaching you about relationships, marriage, and divorce, but has no real breadth of knowledge of these things except from childhood? So when I say jive, how is that congruent? How does those two things match up? Why would you listen to someone about how could you not be misdirected? And I mean this in all respect, fam, in all due respect, fam. Brownsburg said that's backwards. That's what Pastor $40 was trying to get across. The same thing with Rael. Rael and mental health. I haven't seen Rael. I haven't seen these brothers on my panel. But how could you be on the panel who's proudly promoting that, and that's the leader? That's not progressive. The name of my first YouTube channel was The Male Progressive. 5.0 was Men Elevating Men. The Perfect Man Show was specifically, that's why in my analytics, you see Brownsburg here, you see men in their 20s and their 30s here, because I'm not talking about women. I'm talking to them. Brownsburg and Pat, the younger men come here because of the respect. G comes here. I see G talking to other men. I feel good. I almost be wanting to cry because I know my brother coming out of his shell, being on other panels. Other men are impressed by his intelligence, by his masculinity. It makes other men, this is the cool table politics. The more G speaks, because G is an introvert, the more he speaks, the more men, their women hear him speak, and more men want to be like that. The more I speak, the more men and their women hear me, the more those men want to be like Perfect Timing. Masculinity becomes cool again. It's not a legitimate message. It's not a legitimate message. So I got a couple things I'm gonna talk about today, depending on how the Cash Apps flow. If you guys desire a show today, go ahead and hit the Cash App. You see the instructions on the screen. Please read the description. The World Is Yours podcast, and let's say our prayer, because I don't know where I'll be coming with them. I don't know where I come with the thumbnails, the names of the shows. The World Is Yours podcast. I love that name. Pastor said, I want to know what this nigga real bad to say. You got to clarify that for me. But the World Is Yours podcast. And then look at the thumbnail. The World Is Yours podcast. Like, look at the thumbnail. Like, I'll be coming with him. Like, don't I be coming with him? Look at the thumbnail. You got the pyramid, because I'm talking about it's pay. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the dollar bill, the pyramid from the dollar bill. I got the gun because it's Tony Montana, so I got the gun in neon. I got the baddie right there, the stupid baddie, because Bella Thorne make my numbers go up. And I got the icon with the dollar sign, and I got the instructions: support, Cash App, Big D, support, subscribe, perfect timing. You know, God is good, man. I really love doing this, man, because I'm really talented. So it's really a blessing, man. So let me see what Pastor want to say. Pastor $40. You know, the new rules is you got a Cash App to come on the panel. You know what I'm saying? You know, people used to do that, send the Cash App to come on the panel. But I want to hear what Pastor $40 want to say. And then we're not bashing Roger. This is not about bashing Roger or the men that's on that panel or anything like that. It's just me being perfect. It's just me being me. Like, you could talk shit about me. I don't give a fuck if anybody talks shit about me. But I don't know why God put that in my mentions today, that I was able to see that bullshit and what I've been going through on my platform, and motherfuckers not donating. Niggas over there donating like it ain't shit to you know, to bullshit. So how I know I'm moving in the right direction. And today I'm being very calm today, right? I'm being very calm today, but I know I'm moving in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to donate 50s and hundreds of dollars and shit like that to that right there, then, you know, perfect timing, it's definitely going to ask men to participate. You know what I'm saying? That's all that is. That's all it has to be. You know what I'm saying? Because for real life type shit, you know, you're going to have to pay. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're willing to throw your money away, throw good after bad. It's like a child when you give them allowance. You teach them how to spend their money and then have value for their money. So with all respect, not to say that the men who watch me are children, but I do think there's a lot of immaturity in this manosphere. So I got to train my audience. That's all. How you doing, good brother? You in the car?
Yeah, man, I'm actually about to go in and do my little visitation and to do my little visit with my son and grab him and take him off with me, because it's my time to get him. And
Father
so
power.
Father power. I'm sitting here listening to your podcast. So what Rayo got my name in his mouth for? Why Rayo got something to say about what did this nigga have to say about me now?
Oh no, he didn't say nothing. I was just reminiscing, hearkening back to, like, you know, 6 months ago and all the type of conversation. I was just
I don't be bothering them niggas. I don't be bothering them niggas at all.
No, nothing specific. I don't know why the mention came up in my mentions today, but I just noticed the changes to the platform, and I saw that in the description it said the conversation is about divorce, relationships, and marriage, and I just found the irony in that. I want to speak to the irony in that, you know what I mean? Because I don't understand how can you benefit from that platform, from that aspect. There's a lot to benefit from. Roger's a very intelligent brother, a lot of good things to offer, but like if that's going to the conversation, that's going to be, I would rather go to Sheed. You know what I'm saying? That someone who's been successfully married for over 10 years should manage that type of information. And you know, yesterday I talked about black love.
Was that you that sent me a Cash App?
I didn't send you a Cash App.
What the hell going on around here?
If I did, man, I forgot shit. But what you got? Well, that's all, man. I'm not trying to pick on nobody or put nobody down. I just, for some reason, it came up in my mention, and I went over here to listen to the conversation, and it's the same conversation about relationships and black women ain't shit. And I'm like, damn, man, we can't do better than that, man. We still on pebble grabbing, you know?
And I was over there the other day. They were trying to talk about the Man Act, but they wanted to talk about debauchery and I'm not taking a woman nowhere else. I understand that that's the smallest form of the Man Act. It's really about the transaction and the racketeering of the money over time, and like with women and children. And I'm like, bro, y'all having an argument or a discussion that y'all not even having in the honest context, because y'all trying to hide behind black men. Like we like y'all. I just don't understand the conversations that they have. Like, it's like they have little experience in real life, but yet they want to have these in-depth conversations. And I'm like, it just don't add up to me. I'm glad I slid up out there, man. Hey man, I ain't trying to pick on a brother, man, but you know.
Peace to the chat. Peace to the panel.
What up, Circle?
Irv, if you don't want them $5, send them back, man. Yeah, you over there making content, and I'm trying to support, and you over here complaining about my $5, man. If you don't need it, send that shit back, man.
Oh, bless you, brother. I was like, what the fuck going on around here?
Oh, Pastor thought I was Afro Latino. He said, "Did you send me five? So you thought I was Afro Latino?" I'm not. He thought I was Afro Latino, Sun Claw. Sun Claw, shout out to Sun Claw for the cash out, man. Thank you to everybody who support, man, who getting behind me with the World Is Yours podcast and with the format. And I truly love everybody and thank you for sticking with me and rocking with me through this time, man. Because the Perfect Man Show gonna be back and we're gonna be able to continue to help men. But you know, we gotta build the proper foundation. That's all. We gotta build and it's not always easy in the beginning, you know. You know, it's not always easy in the beginning, but I'm willing to do the hard thing. I'm willing to do the hard thing. I'm willing to suffer. You muted, Pat. There you go. Say that again.
As soon as I get back up, you know I got y'all, man. But I gotta get my son, man. Y'all stay up, bro. All right.
Salute, man. Father power, man. Kiss that boy for me, man. Spend your time, man.
I got some pushback, man.
Pushback. That's why you the co-host, man.
Man,
attention.
You over here talking about Roger, man.
I wasn't specifically talking about Roger
and about his content
as a right. The content, the conversation.
It has a place.
It has a place.
Roger's content has a place.
Like junk food on Saturday.
The thing is, there's knowledge that you're getting. How are you going to implement it?
Break that down. What you mean by that?
Okay.
How you going to implement it?
I'm going to show you how to weld and how to build something. But I'm not going to teach you any kind of math. I'm not going to teach you how to calculate the loads and the forces to make sure that your shit don't fall apart. It's important to know the mentality of the women who are out there. But the part that's missing is, how are they playing me? What is it about me that they're taking advantage of?
So that's a different conversation then. That's not.
You have a certain mindset or a state of mind.
That's not marriage. That's not marriage or divorce.
Exactly.
That's not marriage or divorce. It's misleading.
He needs to talk about what he's talking about.
Right. Okay.
But just because you know that stuff doesn't mean that you are going to be able to implement it. There's some people who are just going to be able to jump to it because they had everything else, but they were just missing that particular aspect of it. They were delusional about what they were dealing with. And once they had that straight, they're good to go.
I like this.
There are others who all have always known exactly what they're dealing with. But why do I keep encountering this? Why do I keep encountering this?
You know, Sunclaw.
And there's no inner reflection.
You know, Sunclaw. Let me help. Let's expound on this analogy. In football, or any, let's go football. How many coaches, and in the chat, I see Sheed in there. Sheed, you look like a guy who played. I think he talked about playing sports. Anybody play football in my chat? How many coaches are on the football team? And thank you, Sunclaw, for helping me understand, because I don't want to pick on Roger. I really love that brother. He's a good brother and intelligent, and I do believe he offers benefit to this space. So thank you for clarifying my point for me. How many coaches are on the football team? I remember.
I'm not a sports dude. Perfect.
Me neither. But I remember loving the 49ers, right? And our rival, the Cowboys. And I remember being a big guy. And I remember the white dude. He ended up being, Pastor said 4-6. He ended up being the head coach. But I remember the guy who used to be the head coach of the defensive line, because I like Ronnie Lott, right? Linebackers. So I remember the coach of the defensive line, the line coach, right? And then there's an offensive coach. And then the quarterback might have a specific coach. But what Sunclaw just helped me understand is going back to my analogy about 5.0 being a race to the top. A top of the mountain race similar to the Tour de France, where you have different legs of the race, and then you may have different coaches to get you through different legs of the race. And Sunclaw, thank you for illuminating that perspective, because there is a leg of the race that Roger would be an excellent coach for that specific leg of the race. But when it comes to a different leg of the race, I would much prefer she to take over the coaching. And I think that when we really understand Black love, when we truly, really want Black love, and how this thing, I don't even like that we say community. I don't know why we do that. Why do we don't make fun out of the N-word, but we make fun out of community. But when we really want Black love, then we'll understand this community and how we'll be able to implement these different coaches and their different expertise at different legs of the race to make sure that our young people are successful and they understand that it's a race and that prizes will be awarded. Good point, bro.
Black Guru being on Roger's panel, have absolutely no problem with that. But look, you've heard Black Guru.
Yes.
Educated man, self-made man, businessman, has run for politics, has a family, is still married, has children. I see absolutely no problem with him being in that conversation, because they're talking about marriage and divorce. The only thing that we as listeners have to be careful about is, am I at the point where I can implement these tools that this person is showing me? Shoot, my car can break down on the side of the road. There's people with a screwdriver and a wrench. It ain't not even a wrench. They just have a pair of needle nose pliers and a screwdriver. They'll be able to do something to get that car going. Some other people can go out and buy the best tools, the most high dollar tools. They ain't going to be able to fix that car. Hey, what's up, Cheed?
We here, man. I wanted to
jump on in there, She. How you doing, bro? I've been taking your name in vain. How you doing, good brother?
Hey, no problem. I'm always around. We always here.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, when it come down to it, man, everybody's needed. The coaches, depending on, that's why you have so many coaches. You got a receiver coach, you got a lineman coach, you got a defensive coordinator, you got an offensive coordinator. You got so many people to build a powerhouse. And you got to understand, not putting this on Roger, but you got to have people that can teach you the right way, people that can teach you the wrong way, or people that can teach you what they know to help you grow.
Man, that's deep.
See, I always say this. When I deal with somebody, okay, I'm going to put it, for instance, my family. I got an uncle, dude been divorced, ain't really got too much going on in his life, but he always try to give me advice. I take that advice, but that don't mean I'm gonna necessarily use it. See, because you can show me how to do it wrong, and I can learn from that. You know, a lot of people don't get that. It's easy to say, yeah, man, I'm this and I'm doing this and that, like, all this and the other. But if I see the path you took and it's you know, it's a progress, then what I'm doing, I'm gonna listen. Take for instance, I was listening to this pastor one day, and he was saying that, you know, guy walked up to him and told him, you know, I hear you got good kids, man, and you should do this with your kids, and they will be good kids. So he said, well, you have kids? The guy said, yeah. What are your kids? What do they do? Are they young? Are they older? Well, I got a doctor, I got a lawyer, I got two college professors. So my plan worked. So he said, as soon as he found that out, seeing that it was true, he came home and told his kids, this is what we're gonna start doing from now on. Now he has a professor. He has because all of them are pastors, you know, for the most part. But he has a professor. He has a son that owns his own business magazine. He has other sons that, you know, dabble in marketing and, you know, family business and hair care. Like, it's a win-win. He took what this guy taught him. It was a plus for his family. Now, what if this guy said, I ain't got no kids. I don't know if this gonna work, but all I know is I think that this would be a good idea. Exactly. Not necessarily saying that it won't work, but 9 times out of 10, it won't work. You know, it all depends, like I say, on the person and the information that they give me. They could give some sound information that they learned from somebody, but it was never implemented in them because they never had kids. You know, if you say, "Well, I got this from my daddy, and I'm a lawyer," well, I might want to take a look into what you're saying. You know, It- you can learn from anybody, from a child, from a homeless man. A homeless man can teach you how not to make a mistake. One time I knew this homeless guy. Guy was an accountant before he got on drugs. He was good with money. Thing of it was, he couldn't keep it because of the drugs. Good with money. But the only problem was he smoked rocks. So you can learn from anybody. It's just the point of it is you got to open your ear and be willing to learn because, like I said earlier, so many people say so many things, all this stuff. You got to have an ear to take away the negative of what that person is doing, and you know, don't have this position for this person because of, you know, everything you hear about him. Listen to the message. That's the key. See, we get caught up on a person and what they do and how they do us and other things that we can't listen to something that's going to help us. You know, Roger always say this, man. If I try to tell a woman don't go down that street, and she say you don't tell me what to do and go down there anyway, it's a pack of dogs down there. They tear up. Who fault is that? She didn't want to take the advice. You know, whether it be she was a feminist, whether it be she just didn't like listening to men, whether it be she was grown and she can do what she wants, or she's equal, as most women say nowadays. You know, but to the point of it is, she took responsibility for her faith because, despite her saying why or questioning the matter, she just wanted to do what she wanted to do. And see, that's the whole thing that a lot of guys in this space, I listen to guys talk. I'd rather hear you say something funny because sometimes I'm a question. Sometimes I let it rock because I say, you know, I don't want to come off as the bad guy all the time. You know, I don't want to come off as the guy that always dampen guys' spirit when they be like, yeah, man, I did. Nah, no, you didn't. I hear you. I hear the way you talk. You don't talk like that to females. Well, yeah, yes, I do. So you call that woman a bitch. You put your hands on her. While you stuttering. Like I tell people, this is YouTube. The other day I was on the panel with a guy. I told him, I'm the vice president of Coca-Cola. and I'm a co-owner in Home Depot. That's why I stay in Atlanta. You know, I don't gotta drive trucks. I drive trucks mainly because I like to work with my hands. I ain't nothing working with a hard working man, honest day at work. That's why my wife loves me.
Hey, son Claude, did you know we was on the panel with the CEO?
Hey, I don't like to toot my own horn. I don't like to toot my own horn.
Look, she's being humble here.
He said two companies. He said two companies. Did y'all catch that? He said two companies.
Major companies. Major.
You know why?
Yeah,
I ain't got no.
You can't say he don't own them.
right. He just like to work with his. They're very true, son Claude. Let me be quiet. I'm gonna go back on mute. Very true, son Claude.
Yeah. I got stock in them. Co-owner.
Same difference. Same difference.
Hey,
Yeah, like I
but the
said,
point of
Right.
yeah, but the point of reference is like I keep saying, you could be anybody on YouTube. Like I always give analogy of Charles Faulkner. Guy's an officer. He talks about different things on his panel, codes and everything that officers go through. A guy can go and look at his videos for 9 months, work out, and call himself, you know, Officer Corey Fletcher, CNF, Corey Fletcher, Sergeant Corey Fletcher. Same thing, man. When it comes down to it, you'll never meet me. I don't gotta cam up if I don't want to. You know, that's what a lot of people get. I done seen people get peer pressure and they camming up and it hurt their soul. Cause they was like, ugh, I ain't think you you don't look like who I thought you looked like. But at the same time, it depends on the person, man. Camming up ain't no thing to me. If you cam up, you do. If you don't, you don't. When it come down to it, it's you, yourself. I ain't got to prove nothing. When it came down to it at first, I wasn't gonna cam up when I had my first channel, but I was like, I'm not targeting nobody. I shouldn't have no beefs with nobody. And if somebody got a beef with me, they're gonna look pretty weird beefing with the guy that's trying to help people make money. That's why I told you I'm revamping my channel. I'm gonna slow down going on panels. Because I'm gonna start pushing my money game. That's why I be getting on Alonzo, man. Stay on top of your game, man. Stay professional. Stay on top of your game. Cause these guys, life insurance is gonna. I wish. Damn, I got a call. I'll holler at y'all, man. I got a call.
Salute. That was Sheed the Wolf.
Salute, Sheed.
Tree job, lazy boy. Gotta go to work. Yeah, son Claude, thank you for, man, broadening that topic, man. I didn't want, because I'm not trying to personally assassinate anyone's character.
This time last year, I was watching some YouTube channels.
Mm-hmm.
Salacious. Titillating.
Titillating.
The channel was salacious and titillating. It would go on horror stories. Horta stories. As Jay Sean would tell.
Sound like TNN Raw News.
How my ex-wife did this, how my ex-girlfriend did that. How she got her come up, and sometimes yes, sometimes no. And they would go into these stories. I met so-and-so and such and such, and she was so beautiful. And then this happened. And then one day I came home and her breath was smelling like milk, like rancid milk. And I didn't want to believe it. So I stayed with her for another 5 years.
For another 5 years.
And then all of a sudden, I come home and put on my shoes and realize that they're 4 sizes too big. I'm an 8 and those were size 12s.
No.
Well, you know what? My shoes must have grown or something. Must have been moisture in the air or something.
Yeah.
But then another 3 years later, I see a naked man running out of my bedroom, and my wife is there naked, all splayed open,
No.
covered in milk, covered from head to toe in milk.
No.
And she told me that was just a massage therapist that was doing a new technique using milk in order to keep her skin from getting dehydrated. So these stories were so interesting, man.
Milk and massage, milk and magnesia.
And believe it or not, that's considered to be part of the manosphere. Not the black manosphere, the whole red pill manosphere.
Beneficial in some ways.
There are multiple channels like that. They just go on Reddit and just read these stories off of Reddit.
Wow.
And some of them have their own users send emails in so they can read the story on the channel. And one day I was listening, raptured, engrossed, listening. And I said,
enthralled.
Interesting. I can't relate to any of these people. I mean, the worst that's happened to me is I've been ghosted. Never came home and found my lady with the smell of rancid milk on her breath. Never came home and put on my shoes only to realize that they somebody else's shoes.
Man.
I never came home and
shit
and found strange men's underwear in the hamper. Seeing boxers in there when I wear briefs. I never had none of that happen to me. None of it. I might have been the other dude, but I've never had any of that stuff happen to me. So I stopped watching. It's entertaining as hell. Super entertaining. It's almost like a soap opera, but for men.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet it's probably most of those stories are true. You know, people say, man, them stories on Jerry Springer can't be true. They're not. And do you know why I think they're not? Not because they're so outlandish, but because they're not outlandish enough.
Mm-hmm.
They're not outrageous enough. They have stories of somebody trying to get paternity and then to find out that their best friend, or they find out that their wife was cheating on them with their best friend. Nah. Unrealistic. Realistic. If unbelievable. You find out that kid ain't yours. They do a DNA test only to find out that you and that kid that your wife had are related. And to make it worse, y'all ain't brothers. That ain't your nephew. That's one of your cousins. How is that?
That's some cold shit.
Because your granddaddy was messing around with your girl. So technically, that kid one of your uncles. Ain't that interesting? And if people saw that on Murray, they'd turn off the TV. They say, "Oh, that's unrealistic. That would never happen." Shoot, you here, ain't you? Granddaddy got some moves now.
You here, ain't you?
Shoot, but it was interesting. And maybe at that time, it might have been what I needed to get entertained. But then I said, you know what? This ain't for me. I'm gonna keep walking. And I reached somewhere else. After that, I think I came across a channel. It appeared and then it disappeared. And then I came across what's that? BGS.
Uh,
But then BGS posted on his community chat a tab, Roger's channel.
mm.
So I went over there and I listened to it for a while, and it's interesting. The way he put things was interesting. Interesting retake. Interesting way in which it's being put out. As not and seeing somebody who behaves in a certain way towards you. Not just somebody who's behaving a certain way towards you, but as an enemy.
Mm.
When he's saying that they white supremacists. Now that I'm thinking back on it, thought would give pushback on that.
Mm-hmm.
He would say, that is female nature.
Yep. Nobody
And
will.
you know what? He was absolutely right.
He was right. We knew it. I knew it when he first said it.
But some people can't understand how it can be female nature.
It wasn't the right place.
So they needed
Yeah.
the language that Roger was putting on it.
Yep.
So that they can start to understand things. And then once they start putting two together, they say this is across cultures. This is across societies. This is across races. So it must be what? Exactly the same thing that Thought has said. That is female nature. Perfect. I was thinking about something.
Shoot.
In certain circles, political circles, they have this saying, I'm not going to tear down a fence before I know why it's there. Right? I'm not going to tear down this wall before I know what it's for. It was here since I was born. I don't think it does anything. Let me tear this this thing down. But you never thought about, hey, why was this built in the first place? Yeah, perfect. Did you listen to that show that Pastor did last night?
I did. It's funny you bring that up. I caught a little bit of it where G was on there and Coffee was cammed up.
Mm-hmm.
Coffee Nino was canned up. Hey, shout out Coffee Nino, man. That's my good brother. But
I haven't finished listening to it, but I was thinking about
G is so impressive, man.
G was talking about women have a predilection for a certain type of man. And he was talking about the intelligence of those men that they have a predilection for.
Mm.
But I was thinking, you know, that saying that I just said to you?
Mm-hmm.
Before I tear down a wall, I need to know why it was put up, right? If you look, cultures around the world have a wall. Different cultures, different races, different continents. They have a wall. And guess what? In most of the Western world, the wall has been knocked down without examining why it was there. Perfect. You've been married before, right?
Correct.
Did you ask for the hand in marriage?
I did.
Did you ask her father for her hand in marriage?
I did.
And what did he say?
He said yes.
Okay. Hey man, did you see SpongeBob SquarePants last weekend, man?
Nah, I don't watch SpongeBob.
Oh. Okay, I'll go back to why I asked that question of Perfect, right? About him asking for a hand in marriage. Back in the day, you could not fornicate, procreate out of wedlock with a woman. You had to be married in order to have relations with this woman. You couldn't hold hands with her. You couldn't even be in the same room alone with her.
Facts.
Until you were married to her. They didn't have no samplers back then, you know.
Mm-mm.
You just had to buy it, and once you unwrapped it and you got it home, you found out what kind of flavor it was.
The whole cow, right, Son Claw?
Mm-hmm.
Not just the milk.
They won't know renting no milk.
Mm-mm. The whole cow, baby. Whole cow, baby. No free dick.
And know what? No refunds.
No. Because it ain't no free milk.
And here's the thing. If her father back in the day would say, no, you cannot marry my daughter, could you marry her? No. You could not marry her. And then something else happened too, Perfect, now that I'm thinking about this. In Latin America, to a certain extent, it still exists. If you have a daughter and a young man wants to marry your daughter and you approve of the marriage, right? Who pays for the wedding?
The father of the bride.
Now, I didn't hear that. Who pays for it?
And that might sound familiar from a movie. The father of the bride was Steve Martin. They made a sequel. They made like 2 or 3 of them. It's called The Father of the Bride. So,
pays for the wedding.
Yeah, and there's a dowry.
And there's a dowry.
Father of the bride.
Why the dowry?
You want to secure a good mate for your daughter. And then,
but it has other functions too, right?
We should probably define it.
My husband, he wants me to do dishes. Can you imagine that savage? Wants me to put my hands in warm soapy water and wash dishes like I'm some kind of maid. If her father
a dowry
paid
is a payment.
$50,000
Here it goes.
on a wedding.
A dowry is a payment such as property or money paid by the bride's family to the groom or his family at the time of marriage. Dowry contrasts with the related concepts of bride price and dower. Oh. So
now,
we gotta go even
but here's the other thing.
I don't know what dower
is. If that young man, if your daughter were to leave that young man, right, and run away with somebody, would you get a refund on that wedding? After the wedding has happened? Will you be able to get that money back from that wedding?
Or you would be able to kill that man.
No, you wouldn't be able to get your money back. Would you be able to get the dowry that you paid her husband? Are you going to be able to get that back?
I recall the father forcing the man to be married. If he paid, you got to be married to my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm going to kill you. I don't want the money back. This marriage,
No,
especially
but his daughter, after they've been married, decides to run away with another man.
Oh.
Can the father go and get that money
No,
back from the groom?
No.
Or from the husband?
No.
Why?
Because she broke the commitment.
Would now in this same scenario, right, where the dowry was paid by the woman's family and they paid for the wedding, if she's having some bumps in the road of her marriage, no marriage is a perfect marriage. Anybody who ever told you that a marriage can be perfect and then once you get married everything is going to be hunky dory, there's not going to be any fighting, any disagreements, anything. They're full of shit. They are full of shit.
It's not life. That's not life.
If that young lady were to come home one day and say, "Dad, I have to leave that man. He's such an animal." You know what he does? They say, "Daughter, what does that man of yours do to you? Does he beat you?" No, it's worse than that. When he comes home, he walks into the kitchen. He opens the refrigerator. Daughter, don't tell me that he opens the refrigerator and puts your head in between the frame of the refrigerator and the door and smash it. No. No, it's worse than that. You know what he does? He goes and opens the refrigerator and grabs a carton of milk. And he doesn't even get a cup. He drinks straight from the carton.
Mm.
And then he puts it back. So I'm going to leave him. What is her father going to tell her after he paid $50,000 to $75,000 on a wedding and paid a dowry? What is he going to advise his daughter to do? To leave her husband?
No.
Because he likes to drink milk out of a milk carton?
Mm-mm.
Daughter, that's not all that big of a problem. Oh, yes, it is. He always does it.
It would behoove you.
Hey, if you go to the supermarket, right? What are you talking about that? If you go to the supermarket, you can go and get these little pint-sized cartons of milk and stop buying the big carton of milk and buy these pint-sized cartons of milk and put them in the refrigerator. And that way, when your husband comes home from work and he drinks that little carton of milk, you don't have to worry about any spittle or any backwash in your milk. And isn't that easier than just leaving the dude?
Yeah.
I guess so, but I never thought about that. Guess who is going to think about it? The person who done paid for your expensive ass wedding and paid that dowry. So, is your mama going to let you have your mama find out that you're thinking about messing around on your husband? Is she going to let you use her as an alibi? Oh yeah, I'm going to my mama's house. Her husband calls over there and asks, "Hey, have you seen my wife today?" Is your mama going to cover for you, knowing that she and your father paid $50,000 on a wedding and pay the dowry, and you over here being foolish. They gonna cover for you.
No. Look at Cardi B.
That right there, perfect, is something different
Cardi B, yeah.
because it's a question of, are you getting what you need? Right? People say, well, I need my husband to be faithful.
Needs versus wants.
Okay. You want your husband to be faithful. Do you need him to be faithful?
Okay, now we get into it.
When you're when you need him, is he there? Yes. If you're in need of anything, does he provide it for you? Yes. When somebody on the street insulted you, did he protect you and defend you? Yes. Does he take you and the kids to church? Yes. What else? That house that you have, is it in disrepair? No. Or do you have a car in the driveway? Yes. And you go down this list and it's yes, 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 yes. But is he faithful? No. Would he leave you? No, he wouldn't leave me. Does he love you? Yes, but he cheats. But guess what? The people who are telling Cardi B to leave her husband, Cardi B is getting everything she wants.
2 kids now.
She's willing to compromise on that sticking point of loyalty, of faith, of him being faithful, because there's people want to misconstrue something. I am not saying that men should cheat, but there is a difference between men cheating and women cheating. I cannot cheat on a woman and 9 months later say to that woman, this is your baby. Go out there and work to death and provide for this child that ain't yours. I can't do that to a woman. But guess what can happen? A woman can come to me with a child and tell me, hey, this baby's yours. But it don't work the same the other way around, does it?
Hey, Son Cloud, even worse than that, a woman can come to you and say, can you step up and be in this child life? I know you're not the father, but I need for you to be a better man than their father. Double standards all day, man.
Yep.
The argument with that Brittany Renner. She went to the college and told all the men, told all the wives and lady whatever, hide your sons. I'm coming for them. Now, if a man would have put that post in there, hide your daughters. I'm coming for them. All kind of backlash.
Oh yeah.
You know, when we was having a conversation and we was talking about what was it? It was dealing with a woman talking to this man. They was on Platt Channel. Woman talking to this man. She said she was gonna uplift her man. He had a bad credit score, stayed with his mom, no car. And we was like, well, what if the guy, just getting back on his feet? Guy like mid-20s, so he might be getting back on his feet. Maybe he went through a divorce. Maybe he went through a bad breakup with a situation where the girl took everything. Credit ain't been right because of high school. They was like, oh, that's an excuse. Y'all men like making excuses for men. I said, but what if the shoe was on the other foot? Well, women typically stay with their family until they get married. I said, not these boss chicks. The boss
Hey,
chicks
you
don't
right.
do that. And when we were referring to, well, maybe she had debt because of college. I said, oh, so the standard is if a man is going through this situation, uh, he has a job, but he has no car. He has bad credit and he stay with his mom. He's not a good man. But if a woman going through this thing is, well, she's trying to find herself. I said double standard all day. If a man is going through this situation, a woman going through this situation, they should be equal because that's what a lot of women preach. You know, it should be equal. You shouldn't look at that man nothing less than if you're not going to look at a woman for nothing less than. Because at the end of the day, we trying to have this whole gender neutral society, which I don't condone. But when you push the issue for it, it's not beneficial for a woman to deal with a man who can't provide for her. It's not beneficial to a woman because once again, the man is supposed to be the leader and the protector. When I add supposed to be, shout out to Mr. Z and them air quotes, because I'm limiting what his responsibility. He's supposed to be the leader, but that's not always the case. Why? Because he would have to be in charge. And nowadays, a black man being in charge, that don't exist on what planet? Because we don't have authority. This thing that I hear a lot of men talk about, Ron O'Neill says it, DS1 says it, about agency, which, DS1, shout out to him. He was the first one on the scene with it. Agency, being responsible, doing things as a man, that's been taken from us. We can't be the leader. That's what I say. Submission, we can say that all day. But if I'm the leader, you submit to the leader. So I don't have to, demand submission from you because that's the part about leadership. If I'm the leader, you're submitting to the leader because when the captain says everybody go, I'm going down with the ship, that's what happens. You submit to the leader because the leader is going to make a way. That's why the quarterback get paid the big bucks because the quarterback got to be the eyes for the defense, offense, every single player. If he wants to throw that lateral pass to the fullback or the tight end, he has to make those adjustments according to what he sees. That's why he get paid the big bucks.
So that's two things. So we talked about the different coaches when we talked about Roger Panel. So she ended with the different coaches before I throw to my little brother. But also I wanna put a pin in the masculinity conversation because when you say we don't have a right to be masculine, because that goes right to Dave Chappelle. And then I'm gonna play the video later. I don't know if everybody got to see it, but we're gonna play it, we're gonna watch it, and then we got to take it down. We'll take it down. But at the very end, Dave Chappelle asked a question. He says, am I canceled? And I believe that speaks directly to what she just was mentioning too about the masculinity. So that's a couple good things for us to expound on and to talk about, especially here on this platform. We ain't going to pick on women. We ain't going to go into relationships and that bullshit. But this is a person with $100 million. You know what I'm saying? Cosby had $800 million. So, and he's asking a question is, am I canceled? That says a lot about black male agency and masculinity. $100 million, celebrity. Am I canceled? When other men are dictating, we don't dictate. We don't lead. Is that leading? That's what she is saying. We get the rug pulled right out from underneath us. Now he has to capitulate and meet with these individuals.
I want to say something real quick.
Please, bro. And then we're going to throw it to G.
Not only are men fighting against the women in our community, now we got to fight against the whole. I don't have a problem with anybody want to be a part of the alpha community. It only becomes a problem when you try to take away my choice. If you're born a man, if you're born a woman, it don't matter. I'm I'm gonna call you what I see you. I'm sorry. You just gotta accept it, you know, because at the end of the day, if you ask me what are you, I'm gonna tell you what I see, you know. And Dave Chappelle, he's basically pushed the narrative to let us know that first of all, as a man, especially being a black man, we can't even be first of all a dominant. I'm gonna let G. I'm gonna go ahead, G. I'm gonna break this up a little later. Go ahead, G.
You know, I'm just listening, man. Peace to the gods, man.
Peace.
Salute.
I just say I
Yeah, peace,
always
G.
tell the brothers this: our masculinity is too invested in this structure in this society, bro. It's too invested, man. Like I respect what Dave Chappelle did because he was letting you know, just like he turned down that money when they tried to give him that money, and he said "fuck y'all" and left because you couldn't buy him, you couldn't buy his masculinity. You see, what I'm saying? You couldn't make that nigga put a dress on for no matter how much money, they couldn't make him do it. You feel what I'm saying? So masculinity is more about what you willing to accept too. Like I'm at the point where I don't give a fuck what nobody think, bro. I don't care what nobody think. I'm gonna stand on my own too as a man, and I'm willing to die and stand on my decision. You feel me? I'm willing to stand and die on my decision. You know how hard it was for me to leave the streets? Because my whole family in the streets, bro. My whole family, you know, in real life is in the streets, man. I didn't know nothing else. When I told them that all this shit's stupid, I had to deal with the ridicule that I'm dumb, that I'm soft, that jail done scared me, and all the other dumb nigga shit that motherfuckers say. You know what I mean? And I think that black men are too invested in these social structures, man. That's why when Dave Chappelle turned down that money for that show, I heard everybody calling him stupid, but they didn't even understand it wasn't about the money. That's how far we is gone, where money is God to these motherfuckers, and our masculinity is tied to too many things that has nothing to do with what we came up with. We didn't agree to none of this shit. We didn't sit down and have a meeting and agree to what we thought was manly and what wasn't manly. You know, since we came out of emancipation, we basically been imitating. We imitate other people's religion. We imitate other people's culture. We imitate everything. We have nothing original that we ever developed as Ado's fans. And I'm gonna let she go at that.
Yeah. The Dave Chappelle like basically brought it out. We can't be men because we gotta fight other agencies out here. You know, it's bad to where me doing comedy, like he did it on purpose. Just like that 50 million. Never putting on a dress. What Kevin Hart, what did he say? It's gotta be a cold day in hell. Stuff gotta go on. Like that's just something that I don't foresee myself doing. You know, I'm not gonna play Big Mama. I'm not gonna play this in Wild Wild West. But he was on SNL as the princess of some little country. Like it takes a,
That's them. That's them selling out. That's why
but it takes
I don't look at
cold.
celebrities. I don't look at
Yeah,
celebrities
yeah,
more
yeah.
or less.
I understand that, but see, it takes a cold man to have principles and stand on it. What did he say? He said, as soon as I told him, I don't care what you say, I'm not putting on the dress. They came with another script with him without the dress on. They already had it. That's the industry, man. And see, you gotta understand. That's why I like about Dave having the balls to, this whole thing. Like I keep telling people, man, this last one, I didn't really get the whole of just what was so bad.
It
The,
wasn't.
the, the, the one before this one was bad. But the whole thing of it is they trying to prove a point. They trying to blackball him, not because of the situation on the video, what he talked about. It's with targeting back to him, acknowledging his friend taking his life. They troll that guy. They troll that guy.
I said a lot. I said a lot when I first did the show. Like, I'm gonna play something. A lot of people following my lead on this. You know, Sunclaw said we be doing stories. People do the story 2 months later. I'm gonna play something. It's this black woman. I watched this show called The Pascal Show. It's a black man, but he's not part of the black manosphere. And I really am. I'm trying to pattern myself and mentor and follow his lead by not being in the black manosphere, just being a black man who creates really good content on YouTube. And he had a black woman call into his show. I'm going to play it. I'm not going to play the video because I don't want to get in trouble, but we're going to play it. We're going to listen to it. Then we're going to play the video of Dave Chappelle's response. One of the things I've said about this community, when I played the protest earlier, I went live. I showed you guys the protest live in front of Netflix. I said, this is a political action. And to what she's point is, it's not about Dave Chappelle. None of their demands said anything about apology that Dave Chappelle needed to say or write. All of their demands were about money, funds, and jobs. They had real tangibles that they wanted. Nothing specific. We watched the whole 2-hour protest. Not one person had a specific demand for Dave Chappelle. They've using Dave Chappelle to get agency. Now, this black woman is going to say something. I need you guys to pay attention, even though I don't play the video. Please pay attention to what she says because she makes some very good points. I brought up some things. When I first talked about this special, I said the special is about one joke. I myself fashion myself as a home comedian. That's why I go live. That's why I'm the host, because I think I'm funny. I think I'm talented. I think I have a good voice. I think I look good. You know what I'm saying? So it's about one joke. A lot of times when you do a monologue, you bring that joke out first, you beat it up in the middle, and then you close with that one joke. If you're good, you're able to have a running theme. That's the Perfect Man Show. Now we're on the World Is Yours podcast with this same similar running theme. The theme, and he told you what the theme was. I told you here. The theme of all 3 specials was racism. The whites. The way the whites treated him on his show. And what did he do in the interim of the special? As his popularity climbed and Kevin Hart's popularity diminished and Dave Chappelle became the #1 comedian in the world, what did he do? He went after the whites. He went after the powers that be, and he made a special about George Floyd, and he made a special, one of the most poignant political satire in the last 10 years. No one's talking about that. And he did another special, right, about employee rights. That people could say spearheaded the campaign that you have now with employees striking across the nation wanting more. Y'all remember these 2 specials? He did a special called 846 or 946 about George Floyd. And he did another special where he threatened. No one ever did anything like this. This is after Byron Allen went and sued Comcast, lost, and then won and then lost again in the Supreme Court. Dave Chappelle threatened the powers that be. Black men are not supposed to do that. So, G, thank you for correcting me on him being masculine. He threatened the powers that be and said, if you don't give me my show back, I'm going to take it. And they gave him his show back. In the interim, see, people didn't realize how he used this show like Meek Mill. He used this show, this $60 million contract as a vehicle for his career, and he used it for a vehicle for us. The same way I seek to profit off of YouTube. My goal is to profit off of YouTube, just like Dave Chappelle is seeking to profit off of his art. But as he seeks to profit off of his art, his goal is to help black people, black men, black father, because he's a Muslim at the end of the day. He doesn't get credit for being a Muslim, a devout father, a devout husband. He doesn't get credit for any of those things. And he's chosen to champion this. He can make jokes about, and this is what the intro was about today. The contrast between the Roger Report and the Perfect Man Show. He can make jokes about anything. Sunclaw and She came on, and we highlighted the fact that a football team has different coaches. And Sunclaw and She said, well, Perfect, Roger is appropriate for people at different levels. He might be the lineman coach. Perfect, you might be the offensive coordinator. There's different coaches. I think it's disingenuous. Maybe the brother will hear this message and he'll understand that he may need to refocus his content so that he can be the appropriate coach at the appropriate time. Because another thing I noticed over there is that a lot of people come to Roger in the beginning of coming to the manosphere. And it's kind of like fucked up to get the wrong message at the beginning of the manosphere and think that's what we're all about. But I digress. I want to play with this lady said, because what I said about this community is that they're bullies and that they're using Dave Chappelle, and black men have been used by a community similar to this to get their own agency, and they're bullying us. So check out what this black woman said. And this is the Pascal show, fair use for commentary, fair use, fair use.
I'm very, very good. What's on your mind? Speak on it. Wait, by the way, where are you speaking it from?
Sorry, I got you on the back. So
oh, I'm on the TV. Look at that. Look at that. I'm on the TV. I feel good right now. Yeah. Where you video chatting in from?
Dallas.
Oh, Dallas. Yes. So what's on your mind? What do you think? What are your thoughts on this? Speak on it.
Well, first off, I want to say we spoke before about the
yes, we have.
We spoke before about the Brother Polite stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but I also want to say I actually realized that I found you through your sister. So big ups to her. But yeah, I've been following your sister forever. So big ups to her. She's a doll, and she actually helps me find my foundation. So that's but anyway, but yeah, so about the Dave Chappelle stuff, I'm a Dave Chappelle fan. I've watched Dave Chappelle since before the Dave Chappelle show, and I watched all of the specials. So I think that it's a good point to say that you have to watch every single one, not just the last one. You have to watch all three, because it gives a story. They go together, and without watching the whole context of all of them, you're missing out on a lot. People are missing out on a lot of points that he's talking about. But one of my thoughts about the trans thing, I support the LGBT, all of them, every letter, especially the trans community. However, I feel that this was someone who was just looking at a tree and not looking at the forest. Because he did make I will say, to their defense, he did make an incorrect point. Gender is not a fact. Sex is a fact. I think that was just a slip of the tongue. I think is what he was trying to say was sex is a fact. Like, what you're born with, your genitalia is what it is. But your gender is a social construct.
So I don't agree with everything she says. That's why I'm playing.
She's wrong.
She go. But
listen, this is my thing. Why do we keep listening to these bitches?
Listen. I want to listen.
Right,
I'm gonna say something real quick. Jenna, and Jen. Look at the roots of these words and see it, and you'll probably find that they have very similar origins as to where they come from.
I feel that personally, as a cisgendered woman, I don't like that term, but that's a term that's been assigned.
Yeah.
I don't follow the cis thing, but as a cisgendered woman, another question that we have to ask is, was this all of the trans community or just trans women? And I bring that question up because I know, I have friends who are trans men, and they didn't find any problem with this special. But I have two friends who are trans women, and they had an issue. So it's like, my question to them and to everyone is, where is this really stemming from, really? Because it just seems to me that when it comes to the trans community, it seems to me that there's one group of the two that's really giving an uproar about trans rights, or don't talk about us in this way. You can't talk about us at all. And it seems that it's mainly trans women who are saying this and not necessarily trans men. And I'm wondering if that's stemming from, and hear me out, if it's stemming from misogyny. And, because it just...
Now, wait. I shouldn't even give y'all this shit, because I'm really pissed off at everybody, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers don't be loving me and supporting me. Ain't nobody got no content like this, so it gets better. It gets better. It gets better. It's not. This is not the Perfect Man show, but I do produce perfect content. It gets better. It gets better.
Seems as if trans women they want to come into our space, which is fine. Come into our space. We're here, However, they want to change our space. They want to change, how things are communicated. It seems like the trans women part of the group is the loudest group. And I'm wondering where that's coming from. As a man, men are, men from birth are, given, the societal norms that they're the leaders, they're control, don't talk about men, don't talk about anything of that nature, like they're the power structure.
Yep, I told you, it gets better. She's not done. Woo!
I'm wondering if those thoughts, that men are over women, that get taught through TV and things like that, does that get translated into a trans woman's mind when it comes to these type of issues?
Do you see how she did that? This is a flipper. Watch out the flip of the wrist. Look how I flip my wrist. Hey, I want to hear that again.
Hey, perfect. Remember, we can't see what you're seeing now. We're only hearing it.
I'm not looking. I'm just listening. I'm listening. You can't. It's just a flick of the wrist with the words. I'm excited by the way she's using her vocabulary, how the way she's transitioning.
And I am surprised too, because I think she's using a couple of words here and there a little bit improperly.
Interchangeably. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, girl, get in touch with Son Claw, and I'll have a dictionary sent to you.
No.
Yes.
This is salacious. Titillating. Let's hear that again. Run that back. Perfect.
I support the LGBT, all of them, every letter, especially the trans community. However, I feel that this was someone who was just looking at a tree and not looking at the forest. Because he did make I will say, to their defense, he did make an incorrect point. Gender is not a fact. Sex is a fact. I think that was just a slip of the tongue. I think is what he was trying to say was sex is a fact. Like, what you're
you know what? The crazy
Wait a
thing
minute.
is that people who are part of that community will disagree with her on all points.
But how she know?
They think that sex, gender, male, female, everything is a construct.
A slip of the tongue. How does she know Dave Chappelle, the one who's making the $60 million, but she knows what he meant to say?
And perfect. Everything with them is a gray area.
Oh my God.
You're not 100% male. You're just more male-like than some other person. So that's why they think of it as a spectrum. That's why there's not 3 genders, but there's how many different acronyms are there? Like 50 something?
50 now. I know G left.
It's because they have a spectrum of it. They don't have 3 fixed things where you're either man, woman.
No, they want to be
something in between.
They want to be able to be fluid and go throughout, and they want to be able to change.
They want to be 3/4 and 5/8 this, so they got a name for that. Well, you're 33 and 1/4% this, then you're this other acronym.
And I'm not this anymore. I was that last summer. This summer, I'm this. And it goes with my mood or my feelings.
But here's what I'm seeing, though. The shoe is starting to drop then. What are they going to talk about next time on how these women, quote unquote women, are in the arena with other women beating them down into a pulp? Whipping their asses.
Hold on. Hey, hold on.
Rappers for, if you kill someone or you kill someone who's Black or a Black woman or you disrespect a Black woman, you're put to the top of the pedestal. However, if you do the same thing to another group, you're not. And it's just like, it's unfair and it's unfortunate that we have to think of things that way. But I think that the trans group was too busy worried about the word trans and what he was talking about than worrying about what he was really saying. What he was really saying was that if one group is protected, we're all should be protected if we have a protected group by the law. And as African Americans or Black people, we are in a protected group. So it's like, if you can crack a joke and talk about us and do black fishing and everything else, then shouldn't everybody be given the same, you know, the same pokes that everybody else is getting?
You know, wow.
You know, misgendering is wrong, but they're not so upset about, you know, they don't push. I don't see trans men pushing to be in male spaces as much as the opposite group. And I also don't notice them screaming and yelling. Like, I don't have, like, the people who were going up about this whole issue with Dave Chappelle, I didn't see any trans men really, you know, voicing these opinions. So it just makes me wonder, like, where is it really stemming from? Where is it really coming from? And, you know, if you're trans, you're trans. That's who you are. But I don't think that saying a joke about someone's being trans, just a joke. Because I mean, Dave Chappelle makes fun of everyone. He makes fun of Black people, white people, Puerto Ricans. He had a whole show making fun of Puerto Ricans and how much they love leopard. So it's like he makes fun of everyone. So it's like,
all right, y'all could jump in, man, wherever y'all want to jump in, man. I just wanted y'all to hear that. So I it's a lot of things she said wrong, but we could go anywhere with it. But that perspective that she gave, let me say this, son, Carl. That perspective that she gave, that is what I want to put a pin in. Y'all go wherever y'all want. But when she talked about, because I don't know if we're allowed to speak like that as heterosexual, or they say cisgender men, but how she broke down the difference in the community, that there's a separation in the community. And we watched the protest, and she was right. And that protest was all trans women. And how I don't agree with the whole definition of the toxic masculinity, so I'm not going to agree with her about the roots in misogyny, but it's funny how people are looking at them, look at us, and this is a clearer view that I don't think we had. So I love bringing this stuff out, not to say that I agree, but as men, father power, and if you think about what I've always done, I've sought to illuminate your vision, to brighten your vision, to broaden your vision so you can see things. Because as men, I've talked about the rigidity of the king and how on the chessboard we need the queen because she moves diagonally. There's everything we don't see. So this woman's perspective is something that we didn't have. And it highlighted something to me. So I feel more intelligent about this issue now, because she was able to bring out something. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I do think she touched on something, and that we need to look at that going forward when it's coming to watching your taco and things like that. That these I don't want to call them MEN, but trans women have a root. And the way she was flippant with the term, how she went to talk for men, and then she talked about trans women. I don't think we've been so programmed in what and how to speak that conversation has been lost. But it's funny how certain individuals who are cisgender women have not. They are seeing that. They are taking note of that. So I'll throw it to you guys on that before we look at Dave's video. What y'all think about what you heard?
You already know I don't agree with none of that nonsense. I agree that, yeah, Dave is saying we should be able to talk about everybody. But the reason, this is why I won't start a YouTube channel, man. I'm not with all this political correct shit, bro. Like, I'm not about to be calling no fucking boys girls. That's it. That's all there is to it, man. And I don't even respect this shit for real, bro. Like, why is we crying to be accepted, bro? To be some fucking entertainers. Like, I'm not with none of that shit. I think that's what got us weak as black men, for real. We so fucking weak internally that we can't stand on our own 10 toes like the Nation of. That's why I got so much respect for the Nation of Islam. They took Farrakhan off of every major TV station and he didn't change a word of what he was saying. That's fortitude. And they kept pushing, and the Nation of Islam is still around to this day. And you ain't seen Farrakhan on no major TV since the 80s. In the early 90s, though. Have you?
No.
Have you? But you know what these niggas gonna do? They gonna sell out for a little bit of money. They ain't, like, we supposed to support Boosie. All these so-called tough-ass gangster rapper niggas All
Facts.
these tough ass gangster rapper niggas won't say shit, but you a killer. Nigga, you killing sliding down the block with the chop.
I did a whole show. I did a whole
None of
show.
that shit.
I did a whole show on Bootsy was trending in the top 10 about them making a homophobic joke about Bootsy when Bootsy was siding with the baby. And everybody starts saying, well, Bootsy was in jail for 7 years. He must want to go back. He must have a boyfriend. And that was okay. Dave Chappelle got canceled. But have you guys noticed? Gee, I want to hear this. Sunclaw, I want to hear this. It's like the I'm a boy, Damon. It's okay. It's not okay for a heterosexual black male to make these type of jokes, but it's okay for everybody else to make this joke about a heterosexual black man, right? And we have to laugh at it, or we're homophobic. Like the I'm a boy, Damon. We got to put on a dress. We got to be okay with Genuine. They tried to make Genuine kiss that man, woman, whatever that was, or Genuine. He couldn't just simply be heterosexual and have a choice. Like everyone else, we got to be able to take that joke. Have y'all noticed that? Like that trended up to number 3 on trending. Little Bootsy, he has 8 children, a multi-millionaire. He survived a murder conviction, but it's funny. His children got to live through that. It's funny to tease Bootsy about being a homosexual, and he's not a homosexual. But if we make that joke, I can't even say that without losing my platform. But Little Bootsy, it's okay to tease Little Bootsy, a known cisgender male. That's the hypocrisy. Gee, I see you come off of mute. What do you? I had a problem with that when I seen that with everybody, and now they first time.
I got a problem with all of this fuck shit. Yeah. Okay. Hold on for a minute. Let me get my paperwork done.
For sure. What you got on the Sun Claw? What you got on the Sun Claw? She just broke down. She separated the community.
Maybe the shoe is getting ready to drop. Maybe.
It is Tuesday. They don't deserve this.
If I were interviewing her, I would ask her, where do you stand on integration?
She might have brought that up.
Sunclaw, they already integrated. You say, no. I'm not talking about that kind of integration. You see, they want the integration in sports. I would like to see her opinion on integration of the prison population. Integration of the showers. Integration of the prison cells.
Right.
Think about all the money that would be saved. Since there's no difference and they're all equal, why have separate prisons? All that does is to propagate this illusion, this lie, that there's a difference.
Gender is a social construct. Have I been asleep, Sunclaw?
What? You're against it?
Shit.
Why? Why are you against the integration of the prison populations?
You must have some type of phobia.
But it's all right for Jen to become a woman and to shower with you and to be in the same bathroom as you and to be on the same sports team as you.
Mm-hmm. Say that
And then wouldn't it make sense for him to also be in the woman's prison as well? Oh, and you say that he can just say he's a woman? He doesn't have to undergo any medical procedures either? So, So
But as I was saying,
then let's
bro,
go ahead and integrate everything. Why are there men's room and female bathrooms? There should just be the bathroom, period.
this is what I'm saying, bro. I'm not with none of this shit, man. I think we giving up our power when we even want to be part of this society, bro. We got niggas selling each other out. I'm just surprised all these fucking super supposed killers is shutting their mouth for a bunch of boy lovers. Nigga, you supposed to be independent in the streets, nigga. I thought you was in the streets, nigga. You were in the street, nigga. You around here, you telling me a boy lover can shut you up?
They some in the sheets niggas.
Nigga, you so scared of the boy lovers. You so scared of the boy lovers, you won't even open your mouth and defend one of your homies. You won't even defend one of your bros.
But gee,
You,
I
I don't
say
got no
give them
respect for
what
none of
they
that
want. I mean, don't do this half-ass. Y'all need to go all the way.
Got to give the paper.
In the high schools and everywhere, they should just integrate everything.
Got to give
everything. Even in the baseball park, man. When y'all go to a baseball game, there shouldn't be women's bathrooms and men's bathrooms. It should just be the bathroom.
Give the people what they
No,
want.
but you know what's gonna happen then? Then these bitches gonna start crying like the hypocrites that they is. Oh, we gotta go to the bathroom with men.
I'm just saying to give them what they want.
Hey
They
man,
just
y'all niggas don't want to go to
they
South
need to
America with me yet.
understand what they want.
Look,
They
I
don't
went
know what they want yet.
South America, Coffee Nino on the panel. Coffee Nino on the panel.
What's up, Coffee?
Man, I went to get my hair done at the African shop in Fairfield the other day.
Why you do that? They gonna pull out all your roots, man. I know you in pain right now. Them bitches don't.
I was on camera yesterday on Pastor Dollar Show.
I see you on cam. I see you on cam. They do that shit hella tight. I got my hair done right there. What's that on Texas, on North Texas, right there?
Yeah, but the thing was, the lady wasn't comfortable until I told her either I was African or she's like, well, this is a woman's face. I was like, damn, but I want my hair. Don't y'all do men's braids and twists and dreads? Don't y'all do that? But the thing is, the women that here, her husband never seen her hair, and the fact you're a man and you're in and she getting a weave. Can you wait outside in the car?
Right. The men don't play. The
point I'm making is that they want to accept all these different acronyms for different people, but the people who want to be called these acronyms don't understand what cis people who were born man and woman who live as heterosexual how they live. Now, if you want to be accepted, why don't you go on and be that, in the space with going all the way? Why do you want to hang out with the men if you want to be a trans woman? Why do you want to be over here with us? First of all, nobody's going to accept you for who you are. So go be accepted with people.
And it's backwards.
Am I saying it backwards?
Yeah, it's backwards. Trans men.
Trans men.
One going to the other.
They
trans women is also the opposite going to the other.
Yeah. Now the trans men, you can find some tough ones that was first bull dykers. His name is called bull dyker. Well, excuse my language, I guess, but you always found that tough girl had a badass bitch that hung out with the dudes. The dudes had no problem with her. You know what I'm saying? So the tough one, and you already know who she is, and she decided to go that route, and she wants to be a man, and she has really dwelled in those spaces with the toughest and the roughest on the streets. I get that part, but when you are somebody that still want to be a bitch and think that, it's going to come easy for you, I'm not going to treat you like a woman if you want to be a man. Can you rumble with us in the streets? Can you do the things that men do? And they have proven that they can't, regardless to what it looked like on the outside. So that's why men are the way they are when it comes to trans people, because you don't know what it's like to be a woman or a man if you the opposite sex and you're trying to change yourself over. You don't know what that shit is like. A woman, you got a lot of people, a lot of trans women get upset with real women uh, for saying you don't understand what it's like to have birth. You know what I'm saying? They just looking at the illusion of it.
Coffee.
Mhm.
It is commonly known that feminists are in support of LGBTQ.
Some of them
And as such, I propose full integration of dressing rooms, of bathrooms. Shoot, since we all the same, we all got the same parts. Shit, we need to get rid of all the doors on the stalls. We ain't got them for urinals. Hell, why do we have to have these stalls and these doors to the stall? Hell, in the military, they ain't got that shit.
And they've done it even in all the state parks.
So we need to integrate and remove all of these partitions.
Everybody in the pool, the water's fine.
And guess what? And they have done it already, even at the truck stops, the rest stops, because men who go in the men's restroom, we ain't got nothing to hide. Now I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to see no niggas sitting down shit. I couldn't go to jail.
There's a financial benefit, and it's been done under the guise of the pandemic. I've noticed it as you've gone out. You've noticed it too. You've noticed it too, that they've gone down to one bathroom. It's a financial benefit. Please don't miss that part that Sunclaw mentioned. That's what happens in capitalism. That people will take advantage of these new social norms, despite if they agree with them. It's like what G talked about with the people selling the alcohol in the black neighborhoods, even though they don't drink alcohol. So people are now going to unisex.
I'll take it a step further.
Please.
The decriminalization of shirtlessness.
Free the nipple? Free the nipple?
Yes.
Free the nipple?
I mean, there ain't no difference. Why is it okay for men to be outdoors without a shirt on playing basketball, and it's not okay for others to be out there playing basketball without a shirt on?
Do you see the post?
I am for equality.
You see the post that Amber Rose did with her pants down? Amber Rose did a post, and it's kind of like a dick out pose, but she posed with her vaginal region very hairy and bushy, and she said she was doing it because men do it all the time.
Oh,
she can go ahead and do it.
It was a beautiful picture. It was a beautiful. Did anybody catch it before it got pulled down on Instagram? Went. You can look it up right now. It went viral. And she was in full bush, Amber Rose. And she posted it on Instagram. It wasn't something hidden. It was.
What color was the bush?
She had an afro. It was black. It was black. And
she had a line on her head.
And she had an afro, and she had a bush, and she said she was doing it to be masculine and to be a bully. I wanted to bring out how cisgender women notice the bullying. That I'm not the only one who noticed the bullying. That cisgender women noticed the bullying coming from the trans women specifically. She said, I have trans men who are my close friends, and I have trans women who are my close friends, and trans women are the group that seems to have a problem. Trans women are the group who are most vocal, who are always yelling, who are always pushing into spaces and doing things like men do. And she's allowed to use these terms interchangeably. And what she was saying is and it's so funny how women want to, it's funny how feminists want to attribute certain qualities to men to make their points, but when they want to argue feminism, they take them away. So this is the same perspective that Kevin Samuels talks about every night, when he tells women, you are allowed to leave me because men have civilized the world so well. You know what I'm saying?
I'm ready. I'm willing to do sacrifice, man.
Cameron,
when I say everybody, I say everybody. And so, Claude, do you mean even Lizzo?
She gotta be.
Yes, even Lizzo.
What the fuck is this doing, man?
But think about that though. Think about how she's saying that men build the world. Men have the power to make canals, to make bridges, to make freeways, highways, so that women now don't have to do anything. Then they can break up with you and divorce you at any given time because men has so civilized the world. So she's using that logic that Kevin Samuels explains to women who want high value men and understanding of the world and who men are and why you get to do what you do and why you're so overweight and unagreeable, because men have so civilized the world. So now when she talks about trans women, she is agreeing with the thing that Kevin Samuels got to 1 million subscribers arguing with bitches about every night, that men have so civilized the world and men are the breadwinners and in leadership role. She qualifies her point when she talks about trans women by first saying that men have done that. Men have built the bridges, men have built the canals, men have built the power grid, men have built the water treatment plants so that we can have running water and energy and electricity, right? And she says because that's innate in men, that trans women are coming into women's spaces with that same modus operandi. I'm gonna pass it off. What y'all got to say?
Yeah.
This is all I'm about to say, man.
Go ahead.
G is not with none of the fuckery. I'm tired of these niggas that's dressed like girls fucking with niggas. But I'm more mad at the niggas for not supporting each other. Like, you niggas care about this shit so much. Like, when they kick Kevin Hart off the, every nigga was supposed to
say that. Say that. It's been the same. It's been the same with everybody. It's been the same with Boosie. It's been the same with Kevin Hart. It's been the same with Bill Cosby. It's been the same with R. Kelly. Well,
none of these niggas want to stand up for what's right, bro. We wonder why the whole world look at us like some hoes.
I was by myself. That's why I created Perfect Timing. Even when I talked about R. Kelly, everybody was like, even Sunclaw was like, we're gonna be sensitive. But I was bold enough to be like, R. Kelly is innocent. He already was found innocent. Then Choke No Joke comes in.
We all
nobody wanted to say.
Niggas
nobody wanted to say it.
Well, I say this. It's clear that he's guilty of something.
No, that's what people kept saying. He ain't guilty as shit. 35 and 33-year-old bitches driving Mercedes-Benz, getting $10,000 to suck dick. And the youngest person in the house was 19. And this is the part that we're not supposed to say, right?
Hold up, perfect. They were not getting it to osculate on the male genitalia. They were getting that money as an allowance simply because of the fact that they lived in his house.
Listen,
it was not for services rendered, because then that would be insinuating that Kelly was involved in some kind of an illegal act.
And she never said that when she gave her interview. Remember my coffin nail, Raw? My coffin nail was the video of the mansion and the fact that he wasn't home and they removed everybody out the mansion and everybody was able to come and go. She then gave a really big coffin nail by saying that I always was a fly-in. I always had the ability to come and go. He gave me thousands of dollars to go shop. Her daughter said he bought her a Mercedes-Benz. She purchased a home from the relationship. She was in a relationship with him for 2 years. She effectively went through training. I said, hold on, wait a minute. I said she effectively went through training for 2 years before she was allowed to come and live in the home. And she would
have a reward.
Come on.
This is what I'm saying here. I'm saying I'm not against R. Kelly, but at the same time, I know that he was guilty of something due to the young girl, the Sparkles niece. Now
there was no young girl.
Okay, no. What I'm saying from
do you mean about the one from years back?
That's
with the rain, with the yellow rain.
Yeah, but listen.
Innocent. He was found innocent, and this the part we ain't supposed to say. This the part we ain't supposed to say.
That's double jeopardy. You can't be charging somebody twice for the same thing.
Okay, but hear me out, y'all.
Right, let me say this before you go, Kwafi. This the part that somebody said that we ain't supposed to say. It is not illegal to have sex and be in a relationship with someone who was under the age of 18.
Okay, now what I'm saying.
Did y'all hear what I said? In certain states, Just like with Aaliyah, in certain states you can marry, and I'm not gonna say the age because I don't want to speculate. I just want to put out there so we know the law, and it's only fair because yeah. And only black man was doing this. Amish people, other people, they marry underneath the age of 18. It was black men, like G said, beating up on black men. I just want to put out there that it is perfectly legal for a man to engage in marriage in a relationship with a woman who is under the age of 18. And we are not allowed to have that conversation.
Let's just say a female, not a woman.
A female, I mean, you could call her whatever you want to call her, but that is the law. You can marry her. You can marry her, and you could be in relationship.
Perfect. Fuck that shit, perfect.
But let's say this.
We've been civilized by these bitches to act like bitches.
Let me tell you something.
I don't want to act like no bitch.
I'm not against any of it. You know, far as what if you want to do that, you do that. You know, I'm just saying for me. But let me get my point out about R. Kelly, y'all. Okay. Now,
excuse me.
Just listen.
Where do we check in at?
Listen. Okay. My point about R. Kelly, according to if the girl was real young on the video from long time ago, I get that part. But the bitches that came about after that, they should have known. Nobody can hold them against their will. They saw money. They saw all kind of benefits. You know, now all of a sudden, I'm emotional. I'm emotionally wrecked. I'm this, I'm that. He held me against my will. You could have been there.
Listen, do you understand? I had to argue with my whole family about Bill Cosby. And Bill Cosby, listen, bro, I argue with a bunch of niggas. Like, come on, bro. What was that bitch even doing in the hotel room with Bill Cosby? The bitch admitted she was an escort. And you telling me this nigga raped a prostitute when he had money? Get the fuck out of here, bro. This is how stupid we think as niggas, bro. This is how dumb we is.
Yep,
we just repeat a bunch of shit these bitches say. And I'm so tired of these niggas, bro.
This is the home for that. This is the perfect time and podcast platform, the home where we discuss the undiscussable. For the cat who was at the dinner table and they say we can't talk about that right now. We trying to have dinner. For the cat who was at the water cooler and they say we can't talk about that right now. We on break. For the cat who was at church and they say we can't talk about that right now. We at church. I created this platform for men to stop asking permission. Right there, you've been put in the female position. I'm not gonna say the B word, but I made this platform because I felt feminine. Not to say it's feminine can't be powerful, but I got tired of asking and feeling like I got egg on my face when I didn't receive. When I had the power as a man to make happen what I want to have happen. If I want to have this conversation, then simply we're going to have it. That's it. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so, I agree with y'all. You know, I do. Don't get me wrong. I do. I just different things that put us in situations if we hadn't have been in some situations and protected ourselves a little bit better, we wouldn't be in them. You know, I put it that way. If you keep going back to the thing that you know that's gonna fuck you up, you know, leave it alone. I mean, you're gonna get something behind that. You know, expect consequences. And I'm talking about female and men, but mainly the females because they already knew that shit. They knew. They just like you said, they know. Some things are legal and some things are not, but at the same time, they weren't looking at legal. They were looking at, R. Kelly. You know, they were looking at money. They wanted money. They wanted to be that pick me. I'm going to be yeah. That's what it was.
Now, the big takeaway from what we learned today, and I want men, it's father power, is that we are not allowed to see certain things as kings. We move frontwards, backwards, right and left. The queen moves diagonally. The queen today said to us and gave me a different perspective. You may have had this perspective, but Perfect Timing didn't have this perspective of the trans community. She had noticed that there's a difference in the way things have been moving politically and the way things have been falling out along the cancel culture lines. between trans men and trans women. And she attributed the way things are happening with Dave Chappelle to trans women being at the forefront of the protests, and that being akin to misogyny and how men have civilized the world. I just want you to pay attention to nonsensical her nonsensical explanation of events, because you have to first agree to these non-definitions to be true, to buy into that. But I just need you to understand the thought pattern. The thought pattern of why we have so many hurdles to successful coupling. Because we're not allowed to see certain things, and then the people who see certain things see them through tainted lenses. But I would have men take away that
I'm sorry, Perfect.
Please interject, though.
I had the weirdest thought right now.
Oh.
I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. And it's a crazy one, too. Imagine this. There's a city somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere in this country, there's a city. And there's this woman arguing with this other person. The other person reaches down into the large pocket of their cargo pants, and they pull something out of it. Something happens. I don't know what happened. Somebody's down on the ground. And the news reports, two women got into a fist fight in the park. Now, Santa, hey, you missing part of the story. What the hell came out of the cargo pocket? A wig. And here's the crazy part. The news cannot say that a man beat a woman down in the middle of a park. They have to say that two women got into a fist fight in the park. Isn't that a weird thought?
So we got black fishing, we got gay fishing. What would you call that? Because I think that's gonna come. I told you about the interview with the brother who said he does gay fishing to get services and agency and as he travels throughout the United States. Because as a black man, if he goes into different states, it's extremely difficult to go find services that help heterosexual black men. But
no help at all.
No help at all. But as a gay black man, he's able to go to any major city in every state of the union and find, he said, real help, i.e. a job, a place to live, food, clothing, like not fake help like a phone number, but actual real help. If you gay, then they got real help for you, a place to live.
But you know what, though, Perfect, it depends on that. So what we need to do is research, just to be nosy. Research where do black men get help anywhere?
Facts, because
we even in San Francisco, black men don't. They don't include them motherfuckers, even though them black boys be down there marching with them and trying to get gay rights and all that. They don't get them nothing.
This is what the term agency is about. This is what the whole Perfect Man was about, and getting black men to be more vocal. Because it's not a closed mouth don't get fed. It's not going to happen because someone gives it to us. That's the whole thing about why I reiterating Perfect Timing today and why we created the platform. It's not going to happen out of benevolence. No one's going to just give it. And no one is doing that for them. No one's doing that for women. I said that this $3.5 trillion budget was written by feminists. They are awarding themselves. They understand that it's a race and that prizes will be awarded. But the sick part is that men rather bitch and complain. That's why I started off with the intro with Roger report. Men rather bitch and complain instead of getting in the game. They are awarding themselves. We bitching and moaning like someone else. The white man getting fucked too because the white woman is given to the white woman. The same way the black woman was given to the black woman and saying, fuck the black man. The white woman took notice. The white woman is giving to the white woman. She's not even giving a fuck about her kids in the same vein as the black woman. Y'all not fucking paying attention. I said women are moving amorally.
Man, look, this is what I'm saying. It don't even matter about the women, bro. It's about us.
I
How
started
are we
off with that.
supposed to? How are we supposed to really
And you
talk
know
to
what?
these young?
You know what though? And you're right, perfect. Colorless they are, because I'm gonna tell you, even a Chinese woman who can't even speak English, soon as she see two other black women and somebody doing something to her, she'll start to say, "Leave me alone." She told
This
a
is
bitch,
what
a
I'm saying,
Chinese bitch
bro.
told that to me and my brother because we asked her, you're not gonna put our food in the bag or say thank you, and we just patronize your business. Soon as we walked, we was about to, we gave her the money. Soon as she saw two black women come through the door, she said, "Leave me alone! I call police on you." And the black women like, "What did you do to her?" So they all in it together.
Listen, bro. They know what. Listen, what I'm saying, man. It's about us, bro. We are allowing this shit with our bitch madeness. For us to say it's not our, what are we supposed to tell these little boys that we gonna let them emasculate y'all because we scared of getting canceled. So we gonna leave our little boys to get brainwashed and turned into sissies.
I think
And I
every
said
man
it,
should take their boys out of school when that happens.
man.
Hold on,
Every
hold on,
man,
hold on, hold on, hold on. Hit the Cash App. And I'm gonna say it 3 more times because everybody, all the black men in YouTube been trained not to say hit the Cash App. Black men have made fun of black men to where we could putting out quality content for free because we afraid that the content number is gonna go down. No, hit the Cash App, support the stream. This is the World Is Yours podcast, supported and funded by the listener for the listener. Hit the Cash App, subscribe and like. I am no longer gonna be afraid to demand that you pay for the content and my time. Hit the Cash App. And I will admit that my behavior had been changed because I seen the numbers change every time I said hit the Cash App. So I stopped saying it. That's not going to be the facts no more. Y'all not going to treat me like a $2 hoe. Hit the Cash App or leave my chat and watch the motherfucking junk food. Go over there and learn about marriage from somebody who ain't never smelt no pussy. That's what you could do. But if you're going to get here and benefit, hit the Cash App. And I take full responsibility for not having the balls and being affected by other men treating me poorly.
And
I
hit
changed
the
my
cash
behavior.
out. Look and
Go
okay.
ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
and hit the cash out even if this dude is in his sleep, because you know you're gonna get a good show tomorrow. You know they may. You know my
let's
thing
say
is
this.
if you don't do it here while you're here, do it. You know when the man is when you're thinking about him and while he's sleeping.
Remember
Go
all
ahead,
that
G.
shit remember all that stuff I was showing y'all and telling y'all eco communities and villages and shit. And niggas acted like I didn't know what I was talking about. And I showed it to y'all. And none of these niggas was like, yeah, man, you could do that. Every single one of these niggas was coming up with reasons why I couldn't do it.
You're borging real bad, G.
Yeah, you borging. You
You're borging
borging.
bad. We can't hear nothing you saying.
All right, you remember when I was talking about the eco villages, right?
Oh, you perfect. You clear. You clear.
When I was talking about the eco villages, not one of these niggas was like, yeah, you could do it. It's possible. People are already doing it. All of these niggas had critiques why we couldn't do it. This is
Oh, that's the devil. Come on back, bro. Yeah, he back. He back. He back. That was the devil. That was the
hard
devil.
like
Pop
that.
back in.
How we can
And he
do
Perfect.
it,
pop back
bro.
out.
I have to add, where do you guys get this kind of content and comments? I am not above making these kind of comments. 755 perfect.
You know what? This is good content. What I think is, I think the perfect need to come to other channels too, but don't go to them other channels, but go to other channels. You know where people could see who he is. I know people know who he is, but frequent some places that you don't know. That way they'll start coming because people will come for this. They will. I don't know if it's the time of day or what,
I'm
but
not
No, a
opposed.
lot
I'm
of
not
these niggas,
opposed.
listen, a lot of these niggas are snake oil salesmen, bro. So these niggas is on here selling snake oil. I don't not know, bro. I'm only here to talk to the pros.
you're breaking up again, G.
I told you, I done told y'all I'm only here to talk to the brothers, man. I'm looking for a couple real radical niggas that's ready to come and build a farm, nigga. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit for real, because I know most of it is about entertainment. That's why I think I was the first person to cash app perfect, right? Like I fuck with my big bro. I'm gonna hit my nigga with a cash app. Hit my nigga with a cash app. These hoe ass niggas, bro, these niggas super chat to say words because they want their comment to get read above. Just the conceit. The conceit. You ain't gonna
I
cash
saw
app a nigga.
$200 cash apps, and then the motherfucker didn't even know who the person was. After super chatting them
Yeah.
200. Don't you have a channel? Go ahead and put your thing in the chat. I'm like, dude, you can't remember you had a long conversation with this guy on your panel, and he cash
Man,
apping you $200.
man, listen, man. That's why I say a lot of people are snake oil salesmen, bro. And they're selling snake oil because they want to get money to do whatever it is that they want to do, because they're not talking about really doing nothing. They're not talking about build, like when Perf be talking about creating a following so we could orchestrate political movements from Twitter. These niggas ain't talking about that. You know, because that's not their purpose. Their purpose is not to affect no change in real life. So if you got a group of people who their purpose is just to get money off of YouTube, they to monetize YouTube and to get them some money from their phone. And motherfuckers like start a channel. If I start a channel, nigga, I'm cutting off all cash apps, all super chats, all that shit, because I don't want nobody's money, bro. I want niggas to actually do something. Like, nigga, listen, why all my life I haven't seen nobody do nothing since the Nation of Islam, bro? Everybody else is just getting along to go along. And the Nation of Islam still here pushing. They haven't been on no major TV network, no major shows, no major nothing. They haven't sold they soul, bro. Farrakhan had to rebuild that motherfucker. And he rebuilt it. And when they canceled him from TV, he kept doing his thing. Spending on and shit. Like, bro, I'm ready. Not on no niggas talking, bro. I'm ready to do something, bro.
You breaking up, G, but let me say something real quick. They've been counseling Farrakhan since Donahue, if you know who he is. You know who Donahue is, right? Sunclaw
Yeah.
and Perfect.
Oh yeah, that nigga Khaled cooked his ass.
Yeah, but that didn't stop him. It didn't stop him.
No.
What I would say to you, answer your question, G, is I believe it's a fear factor. Cause think about what God has blessed us with. It's been some magical shit. Father power. When I've said this to my business partners, they want to put it on the t-shirt. They want to brand it. Father power. How black men not gonna rally around father power? Like what you taught me, the journey to Apothos. What we've been teaching, like how you not gonna rally in the betterment of this shit? Father power, all of us. Me talking about being honest about and vulnerable and transparent about not being able to parent my children and using this platform to actually do something. Like me using my platform to create a church and to preach a sermon to actually do something. Not just to like talk shit about churches. Oh, the church and the pastor ain't shit. Nah, I made myself the target. Y'all can talk shit about me because I smoke, I cuss, I fuck. I'm a real man and I preach. And I praise God. I do all the shit. Spit, fart, shit, fuck, all that. But no one's been brave. So this is a new definition of a man that I presented. And what it does is it's fucking up people money. You fucking up the church's money. You fucking up the church's money. Perfect. Coffee people don't want me on their panel. It's too much of a contrast. I started off today. Did y'all hear Angry Man doing my show, doing my sermon last night when he tried to talk about the weed and the wheat? The weed and the wheat conversation came from perfect timing. It came from a sermon. It came from the scripture. It came from divinely inspired content. Because I pray over this podcast because I love y'all. I want y'all to benefit and I want y'all to be better men. I want a successful, beneficial life. It came from understanding that. Think about when I talk about people really hating on the slusher. when I talk about the sucker repelling. The scripture said that people, the player haters, the trolls came in at night and sowed weed in my wheat fields. Like they could have burnt the wheat, they could have stole the wheat, but think about how much they gotta hate perfect timing.
And you know what? And you need to confront that too. For all you motherfuckers that's taking content that ain't yours, the big content creators is feeding off of you. Believe it or not.
Well, think about the complexity and hating that. That's what a female would do, but that's what the men in YouTube are doing. You don't burn the wheat. Like me and G, we would have came and burnt the wheat, fucked your bitch, or maybe just stole the wheat. What you gonna come do?
I'm definitely gonna fuck your bitch.
You gonna come at night, and your goal is to plant faulty seed. Think about that. That's control.
The key word is your bitch is definitely getting fucked in that scenario.
So in the story with the weed and the wheat, what God said is, you know what? God said what he told the servants said, like, gee, like, let's go out. I got my sword right now. Let's go ride. Let's go kill him. Let's go handle this boss. Let's go handle this master. Who would do such a thing? They said no. He said, no, wait. I need you to tend to my fields. Well, what you want us to do? He said, wait, I need you, don't go get the weeds now. See, Angry Man was talking about separating the weed, but he didn't get the whole scripture because he didn't know where it derived from. The scripture told you, and what you know what Grandma said? Grandma said, you got to wait for the weeds to grow. Do you know why you wait for the weeds to grow, y'all? Because you will not be able to discern weeds from the wheat if you go pull it right now. You might pull what we need for me to pay you and feed my family. At this point, because they sown such deceit in my field, I now must let the weeds grow. And once the wheat has grown, you will be able to see what is wheat and what is weed. What is happening on YouTube with Perfect Timing, with Dennis, with Sunclaw, with the 5.0 is that people are being able to see what is wheat and what is weed. So these niggas is going live at the same time I go live.
Really
I was speculating. They are really trying to stop people from seeing the separation. Behind the scenes,
what's really going down too is most of these niggas is copycatting each other and riding each other coattails. Like, I don't understand how overnight I was watching Manosphere content in the internet space for years, right? But I seen when KS came on, how the fuck did all of these KS copycats and video reviewers and reactors pop up from women to men, and they're just riding niggas' coattails with no originality, bro. And everybody is copying. It's like, I'm just looking at this shit like, look at this dumbass shit. Look at these fucking snake oil salesmen, bro. And the average person, this is what I'm saying, man, it has to be a total separation and breakdown. I mean, they almost had talked me into starting the channel, bro. I'm not starting no motherfucking channel, man, because it's not me. It's not me to start a channel and be on this motherfucker. They gonna kick me off. I wouldn't even get monetized. They would just shadow ban me. I already know they would, because I'm not with the fuckery.
But you know what, G? We almost, I guess, us talking almost made you think about a channel. But I think what we get confused is the focus. See, you're good at what you do. Take the good out of that and then start the channel. I know you're gonna get some people that don't, want to do some crazy shit, but
that's the point. I like following y'all niggas. I like being over here with y'all niggas. I don't like. This is my thing. This is my thing, bro. I tell the truth about my experiences because I want it to be realistic. I can't fake. This is coming from a nigga like I want to get rid of this narrative, this high value man bullshit so bad. Because it's making niggas feel inferior and it's making niggas lie. You get what I'm saying? It's making niggas lie like they getting all this and getting all that. And
but you the other piece to the puzzle, though. See, because you bring it out. You may be aggressive, and you may be, yeah, niggas, bring it out. But
you gotta bring this shit out because these niggas is gonna front to the end. And I tell a nigga, When I tell a nigga, bro, $40,000, you rich, bro. That's a lot of money to make in a year. What's
Let me tell
going
you
on
something.
is you niggas don't know how to budget y'all money. And,
You
and
know who
motherfuckers look at me like I'm crazy, bro.
you remind me of? Another content creator. His name is Mario J. MYRIOJ with the E. JAYE. And the name of his podcast is called Tough Love. And y'all, you and him, y'all sound so much alike. Y'all sound so much alike. And he was in the manosphere, but I think he got out of it and he just started, making motherfuckers just tell the truth.
Yeah, because motherfuckers don't want to listen. Motherfuckers want to live in a fantasy land. People want to get on the internet and turn into people that they're not in real life. So people come on. I noticed that shit. That's why I deleted all my
Man,
Facebook and shit years
Kevin
ago.
Samuels did
Because I
the show.
had niggas.
Kevin
Listen,
Samuels, hold on.
perfect. Let me
Kevin
say this
Samuels
one
did the
last
show.
thing. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead. I was saying Kevin Samuels did a show about the black church. He said, and everybody called in talking shit about the black church. And I loved it from a 52-year-old perspective because you know what he did? It's just like the man. It was a setup. He said, okay, I agree with you. The black church is full of shit in these ways that you just presented. What are you doing? And everybody was stuck. There was some intelligent 30-year-old, just like G, very intelligent black men. Oh, the black church did this, and they were articulate. They could articulate the problems of the black church clearly. And Kevin Samuels knew that they could do that, and he knew that they would do that. So at the end of their articulation, he said, what are you doing about it? Same thing my brother is saying. And my brother got a plan. And he can't get nobody to articulate the plan. This platform is my plan. The Rock, my Sunday service is my plan. I didn't call in because he wasn't speaking to me. He's speaking to a different generation. But I was at home yelling up and down, screaming out. I wanted to call Son Claw. I wanted to call all of y'all because this is why I created the Perfect Timing podcast. This is why I created my own church because I saw the problems in the black church. And I was going to
You been over there making love, nigga. You ain't called me yet, nigga. You over there making love, nigga.
I do be doing a little bit of that over here, though.
You know what I'm saying? You over there making love. They gotta call this nigga. This nigga was like, man, call the show. You hear me, Quavi?
Hey, did you
This
get
nigga making love. Gonna be called the show. This nigga ain't called me one time, man.
Hey, did
you ain't called me either, son Claw. I'm like, damn, my niggas don't fuck with me, man. I'll be out here on the road lonely, man.
I ain't gonna tell you no lie, nigga. You done pulled a perfect on me too because I done text you several times. You ain't even text back.
Nigga, I call you, nigga. We talk on the phone.
I know,
nigga.
y'all know that, but did you get the text that I sent you just now?
Yeah, I'll be getting on your text. I'll be rolling. And we keep talking.
Don't worry, G. I'll call you one of these days, man.
Right, fellas. We have a woman. We have a woman in the
live up in Connecticut, Son Claw?
What, Connecticut?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, where you live at, Son Claw?
Son Claw said, who?
In Virginia. In Virginia.
Oh, you live in VA? Okay. I was just out in Virginia, man. I was just in Roanoke.
Son Claw, I thought you was out near the chicken coop in Charlotte.
Nah.
I was just down there in that whole area, man. And let me tell you something. I was just in the city and tried to meet up with some of these niggas, and these niggas was acting scared to meet up. Like, damn, y'all niggas don't want to meet up and go get something to eat.
I tried that.
Whoa, internet ass niggas.
And you know what? The number one grinder is right there too, out in Virginia. So you could have linked up with him. And if you were cool with DJ Cool, I'm quite sure you could have hung out with him too.
I was just, what part of VA you live in, son?
I was saying the coffee next time you in SAC, man. We gotta hook up, man.
Close to the border, man.
Man, I'm just a
close to the border with Carolina.
You said that twice. You said that twice.
Yeah, that's where I was at. I was right on the border. I was in Black Mountain. I was in Black Mountain, North Carolina.
I'm always over there by that tea shop.
So you were out there almost by Tennessee then.
Yeah, I was crossing over and around and shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's 5 hours, G. You know Virginia's a long ass state, man.
Hell yeah, Virginia, big as hell.
I remember one day I had to drive from the Richmond area out there to Bristol.
Oh, I
Bristol, Tennessee.
We started at 5 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get back until probably close to 10 o'clock at night.
Man, that's facts.
You know what?
I'll be rolling.
Yeah, me too. When I lived in Atlanta, I used to get to New York in no more than 12 or 13 hours because I would drive fast. But even from Charlotte, the same thing.
I gotta call the man and check up on him tonight. Y'all just reminded me that too. I gotta check. I'm
I
supposed to
talked
check
to
up
him
on him.
last night, man. The
He
man,
okay?
he's doing okay, but he not doing okay. The man is, he have to rest. He need all the rest that he can because he can barely talk.
But let me tell you the reason. Like I
Save a
erased
prayer,
all
save a
my
prayer for
social
that brother.
media though. I was on Facebook and shit, right? And a motherfucker popped in my inbox like, yeah, man, your homie was telling me about when y'all had the box Chevy on 26s. Nigga, y'all was doing this. And I was looking like, who? And the nigga that they told me, like, the nigga was in his pictures. This nigga ain't never even had a fucking car. I'm like, I've never seen this nigga with a car before. He on
Set
the
up.
internet talking about he had a box Chevy on 26s. And I'm like, man, if you don't stop involving me in your so I vouch for you. Like, man, don't say nothing, man. I'm trying to fuck. But I erased all that shit. Like, you niggas is getting on the internet and turning into Pablo Escobar Jr. I'm not trying to be you niggas' friends. I'm fucking homeless. At the time, nigga, I was homeless, nigga. Eating at a soup kitchen, trying to nigga
Oh
work. I had a
shit.
job. But just
Yeah,
think
brother,
about the
I got you.
concept.
Come on down, and you get down there, and he in the same fucking position.
Yeah, think about that, nigga. I'm homeless. Just think about that. This nigga on the internet capping from a cell phone, and we fucking homeless, nigga. Like, nigga, I'm homeless, eating at a soup kitchen, working this hour job trying to save up enough money for a deposit for an apartment. And this
Be
nigga on the fucking internet lying to people about cars on 26s and shit.
and all thing he have to do is be honest, man. You know,
All he had to do is be honest, man.
you got brothers that's in the same position. You got brothers that's probably doing podcasts in the motherfucking tents in Oakland. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Not
telling you, bro. I
I
know,
see
man,
him.
bro.
I see him. I
I'm
see
really,
him.
man, I'm really from the struggle, bro. I'm not gonna never shame no man for his position, bro. I done had to live. I done really had to do some
damn,
shit to
even Son
survive.
Cloud say he been there.
Bro, I done had to do shit to survive, and we need to keep it real with each other, bro. We need to get on here. We need to be teaching each other how to
Let me
budget
tell
our
you
money,
something.
bro.
If Snoop Dogg
Where you
tell
could
you,
go if it's cold out night. Where can you go when it's cold at night, nigga? You need somewhere to sleep, bro.
let me
Where
tell
can
you
you go
something.
if you ain't got enough money for dinner for the whole week because you had to pay your cell phone bill, so you didn't have enough. You didn't have that 60 for groceries because you needed your phone to get to work. So nigga, you got to go to this soup kitchen and eat, and you got to make it to dinner by 5 every. Like, I done been in them situations, bro.
Let, let,
And
let,
niggas
let,
will laugh, man. I don't know, bro.
let me say something here.
Real shit. That's
If,
real
if,
shit.
if, if Snoop Dogg, your favorite motherfucking rapper, if he's anybody's favorite, you know, well, he's a superstar. If he could sit and tell you that before he made it in life, him and the niggas from NWA didn't have no place to stay to the point to where they was in the music studio, that was an old rundown music studio, making music out of it. They was washing their motherfucking balls and ass from a fucking coffee pot because it was no bathroom in the thing. They had to use that to warm the water up to wash their body. If he could do that, what shame do you have? You know. So brothers need to be real with themselves. Cause when I lived in Sacramento, I knew it was a couple of homeless niggas that lived in the house across the street from the apartments where I lived because it was only that one brother that had a duplex, and he had so many niggas coming over there because they didn't have a place to stay, but they was looking up to their homie to hold them up, you know. But can you really hold your homie up? Can you really hold them up if you know you're the only one working and everybody else is running in and out of your shit, using it for a whole place and to sell out of? You know what I'm saying? You can't let motherfuckers fuck you up either. So it's kind of
No,
hard.
you can't. You can't.
Cause
Man, but what we need, that's what I'm saying. I know a lot of these niggas is on here faking. And we on this motherfucker talking about $100,000 and niggas ain't got $1,000. You know what I'm saying? If we just really said, nigga, pull out $1,000, how many niggas do about $1,000 bills right now? And that's not an insult. That's not me insulting nobody, bro. That's me telling the truth because I know what real life is, bro. I've been out here living in this world, whether you got a job or not, you been to jail or not. I know it's hard for a black man out here, bro.
And if they
And if
really
you a
got
single
black,
black man out here and you making it, my nigga, if you a single black man out here and you making it, my nigga, you're intelligent. You done been through some hard times, nigga. You done had to sacrifice and eat some shit you didn't want to eat for the week, for the day, nigga. It ain't all been steak, lobster, and shrimp, nigga. We done had the bean and weenie days, nigga. I love me some bean and weenies, nigga. Nigga, I done motherfucker had them sardines and noodle days, nigga, like I'm in jail, but I'm on the streets.
let me tell
You
you
see what
something.
I'm saying?
I ain't never been homeless, but I'm gonna tell you, when my motherfucking apartment was not ready, it was not feeling. It did not feel right to me to spend $200 a night in a hotel. So I went in a high end hotel. So I humbled myself down, man, and stayed in a motherfucking hotel in West Sacramento, which is considered to be rough, but it was comfortable. The Indians owned the motherfucker. He was charging me $60 a day. Which was good. And I stayed in motherfucker for at least 2 to 3 weeks until my place became available.
Hey, y'all, let's take a look at this
Quaff.
video. I
Go
got
ahead,
it
bro.
up
Go
here.
ahead.
Let's take a look at this video. Let's take a look at Dave Chappelle's response to these peepers. I don't know if everybody saw it. A lot of people left, but y'all can watch it on the replay. But this is Dave Chappelle's response to the protest that I gave you first. Y'all saw it here first. Everybody on this story a little bit late, but that's how it typically happens over here. But, it's all good.
It's been said in the press that I was invited to speak to the transgender employees at Netflix, and I refuse.
Fair use.
That is not true. If they had invited me, I would have accepted it, although I am confused about what we're speaking about. I said what I said, and boy, I heard what you said. My God, how could I not? You said you want a safe working environment at Netflix. Well, it seems like I'm the only one that can't go to the office anymore.
Facts. If y'all recall, when I was doing the commentary on the protest, the lady said I can't go to Mississippi. Coffee here too. And I said that Coffee and she was talking about several places in Atlanta, not only that I cannot go to, but I should not go to, where I could be under physical assault. Like it would cause me bodily harm.
Heterosexual man.
Right. But she said she can't go to Mississippi, and Dave Chappelle just made the same point, that you claim that you are the one in physical danger, but it seems to me that I'm the only one who can't go in certain spaces in America, which is why I made the fucking jokes that I made in the first fucking place. Because I'm the only motherfucker that got to watch this fucking step and watch what the fuck he say.
I want everyone in this audience to know that even though the media frames this, that it's me versus that community, it's not what it is. Do not blame the LGBTQ community for any of this shit. This has nothing to do with them. It's about corporate interests and what I can say and what I cannot say. For the record, and I need you to know this, everyone I know from that community has been nothing but loving and supporting. So I don't know what all this nonsense is about. In summer 2020, when the whole world shut down, I was outside doing shows. My neighbor had a cornfield and he let me throw shows there, and people came from all over the country. Some people came from around the world to see those shows. The best comedians on earth came to my home and broke bread with me. And we lived our lives. We found a way to keep moving forward. I made a whole documentary about it. The first night of those shows was a piece that some of you might have seen. It was called 846, and it dealt with the murder of George Floyd. This film that I made was invited to every film festival in the United States, and some of those invitations I accepted. And when this controversy came out about the closer, they began disinviting me from these film festivals. And now, today, not a film company, not a movie studio, not a film festival, nobody will touch this film. Thank God for Ted Sarandos and Netflix. He's the only one that didn't cancel me yet. To the transgender community, I am more than willing to give you an audience, but you will not summon me. I am not bending to anybody's demands. And if you want to meet with me, I'd be more than willing to, but I have some conditions. First of all,
look at the white boys standing up and supporting them. You see the white boys supporting them standing up? Nigga, the white boys tired of this bullshit, bro.
You know what, man? Because Dave Chappelle is that nigga. You know what I'm saying? He is who he is, and they need to stop fucking with this man. You know, and I'm glad that he understands this. You know, same thing with Monique. You know, he was the one who told her put a few bugs in her ear. You know, no matter how big he get, he understand where she been, because it could be him. And look at what happened.
Watch my special from beginning to end. You must come to a place of my choosing at a time of my choosing. And thirdly, you must admit that Hannah Gadsby is not funny. I desperately want people to see this movie, but I understand why investors would be nervous. Since nobody will touch it, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will make it available for all of you in 10 American cities, going on sale in the next few days. You will be able to see this movie in its entirety, and you can see what they're trying to obstruct you from seeing. And you can judge for yourself, but you cannot have this conversation and exclude my voice from it. That is only fair. You have to answer the question, am I canceled or not? Then let's go. Thank you very much, and good night.
And they try to say he's not masculine. He the most masculine man in entertainment right now, brother.
He's one of the smartest men in entertainment.
Smartest.
And I think if he puts that thing on his channel and does it like Louis C.K., if anybody remembers, Louis C.K. made it big because he put his own special on his own website and just charged $1 per download. The man made millions.
He did his own TV show. HBO after this show. HBO.
And Dave, I think, is a big enough voice that if he posts his documentary on his website and sells it for $1, not to make money, but because the bandwidth that you use to download it costs money. And he goes on the Joe Rogan podcast and announced that he has that documentary on his website.
It'll break the internet.
Break the internet. Think about this, bro. They got mad at Cat Williams when he told the truth that Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart was not fucking comedians. He said he said Kevin Hart is a very funny man. He is not no flat foot standing up on stage comedian like we are. And he said it about Tiffany Haddish. And every one of Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish shows bombed. Nigga. That bitch Tiffany Haddish was famous for 2 weeks. Because he said the only reason that bitch got them shows because she kissing white man's ass. Right? Remember Cat Williams said that shit? And they canceled Cat Williams. When the last time you seen Tiffany Haddish in anything funny?
Let me tell you, I'm another bitch that's real, and that's that Lunel Gangster.
Oh, Lunel, real nigga.
I like her. You know what I'm saying?
Lunaire a real nigga, but you know where she come from?
She from the Bay.
She come from Cat Williams motherfucking cat lineup.
Yeah.
Yo, she come from Soul Beat in Oakland. That's where she come from.
No, yeah, that's where she's from. But I'm saying Cat Williams really put her on the bread. Everybody else was trying to play her. Cat Williams took her on every motherfucking tour.
No, she got the money from Borat, and Linnell gave Cat Williams solidify him as a A1 comedian, because Linnell was already an A1 comedian on the London, and she was already a multimillionaire from doing movies. And she got good bread when she did Borat.
You know, I'll bless that old ass. I'll bless Lunaire old ass with some of this dick.
I knew you gonna say it. I knew it.
She's too much of a gangster. I'll be like, come on, old bitch, I'll bust you down.
She got a husband that let her hang out and play.
You better hope she don't hear you, because she's gonna take you up on that offer.
You goddamn right. I'm gonna be over there in that motherfucking mansion with a motherfucking terry cloth robe on with this dick swinging.
She got some Capri Suns and some fruit snacks for you too.
What, nigga? The fruit snacks is out of there, nigga.
But listen, that same community that's going against Dave Chappelle, she support them and they don't even support her.
Man, listen, we fuck with Dave Chappelle. That's all that matters.
I do.
You know, that's why niggas try to cancel Boosie. You can't cancel Boosie because real niggas fuck with Boosie. And when Boosie show up to do a show, he gonna get 10 bands. Y'all can't cancel Boosie.
You know what? And he do. But you know what? I think my thing is Boosie have a problem with everything. It ain't got nothing to do with just that. You know, he on everything, and he also have stated that, you know, he not getting. And it's way before this Netflix shit and Nas X. You know, he just had so many enemies. You know, my thing is sometimes you got to stay out of certain things. Now, as far as that is concerned, as far as the next, the Nas X and all that shit, you have a right to, because you don't want your child listening to that. But you are the person who need to be able to control it. But Boosie have a problem with everything. It doesn't matter what it is.
Boosie is saying what them bitch niggas in the industry is too scared to say.
I ain't talking about
he just one of them. He one of them old niggas from the country, because now he an old nigga. He one of them old niggas from down south that when you sit down, he gonna tell you what the fuck it is.
He had a problem with people saying he looked like Flavor Flav. He do.
But I'm saying he has a right to talk. It seemed like only certain people got the right to talk and other people got to shut up.
And that's the point Dave is making today. Let's close out on that. Let's close out on that, because today wasn't about the LCC community. It was about the voice of black men, the power of that voice. Dave Chappelle did 2 specials. He did a special with George Floyd that changed the debate. He did a special where he threatened the powers that be to get his TV show back. And HBO gave his show back. If you ask, you shall receive. We talked about positive attitude, positive affirmation, manifesting your reality. I think we're watching a black man do it in real time. I think we should pay attention before it goes away. What you got, son, Carl?
All I have to say is we need to desegregate. We need to desegregate and integrate. I don't think they're going to learn until everything is integrated.
1 bathroom. 1 cup, son, Carl.
Yeah, 1 bathroom, 1 cup.
1 cup.
Not 2. Just 1.
Not to say that again.
Not 2. Just 1 cup. You know, what was that song by Nas? All I need is 1 cup. 1 cup.
All I need is 1 cup, 1 cup. Not 2, everybody, just to be clear.
And perfect.
Yes, sir.
It took me a long time to make this comment. It's 7:55 my time, which would be what? Yours is 4:55.
Right.
Bring that thing up, man.
What?
The comment.
Oh. I don't know how to find it by the timestamp.
Oh, you just need to scroll up.
It ain't that many. What's your comment? What was the comment? Let me
It's
go.
right there before, right above that
Okay.
Cash App. Yeah.
7:45 your time. What time was that? My time, 3 what?
It would be 4:55, I think.
4:55. Who was?
So it's Cam Rob, homeschool your kids. Yes. Eat me.
Poo emoji, monkey emoji. No. Poo emoji, spoon. Do it. Monkey emoji. No.
You see, everything. Everything boils down to this.
That's it. That's the t-shirt. That's the perfect man t-shirt right there, y'all.
Everything boils down to that comment right there. Dave Chappelle is letting you know what the shit is. And he's telling you not to eat it. And they put that shit in front of you, and they even give you a spoon and tell you to do it.
Sprinkles.
But you have to resist and say no.
No shit. No shit. No shit. At home, everybody. No shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong one.
No shit.
You know, light a match, Rock. Light a match, man.
Light a match.
There's a lot of shit going on.
No shit.
Don't accept it. Don't devour it. Don't long for it. Don't eat the shit.
No shit.
I know those sprinkles look good. But you don't need that shit. That shit is bad for you.
It's bad for you.
You know that shit ain't no good. So don't eat that shit. But everybody said there's some good shit. Man, that shit ain't worth shit. Don't eat that shit. You know what Nancy Reagan used to say back in the 80s on her anti-drug campaign?
Just
say no. Well, this is the anti-shit campaign. Just say no. No matter how enticing it looks with all the sprinkles and the gummy bears and the whipped cream and the cherry on top. You see that corn.
You see that corn.
You see that corn. And you hear the hum of those flies. You know better. Don't eat that shit.
Don't eat that shit. What a show, fellas. Family, sisters, brothers and sisters. Coffee Nino. Dare just say no. I know Sunclaw, man. Somebody again asked me about where did I meet Sunclaw. Somebody was asking me about a co-host today. A friend of mine was asking me about a co-host. And so blessed to have Sunclaw. G, Coffee, she, all these brothers I always wanted. And I thank God for surrounding me with such quality men. I'm not upset. You just need the faithful few. I don't feel lonely. I just need the faithful few that be here to support. That's all. I don't need a whole bunch of people. That's not what the Bible say. It was only a few apostles. You don't remember Jesus going out to be like, I need more than 12. I need more. Look, even with that, Judas snitched. So I don't need a bunch of people around. I just need the people around. What Nipsey would say, nigga, don't cry, nigga, ride, nigga. I need my 5.0 cool table brethren to ride, don't they? Hit the cash out, share the show. When you having a conversation and you repeating shit, tell motherfuckers where you got it from. Show the motherfucking videos, man. Show the motherfucking podcast. Make them hit the motherfucking subscribe button. Come back and say, I was with this nigga, man. He was talking this shit. I broke this shit down. He liked what I said, and I made him hit the subscribe button. That's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we do. Nipsey Hussle said, nigga, don't cry for me, ride. That's what he been saying the whole night, trying to make a point. What is niggas doing, nigga? Don't cry for me, nigga. If I'm not around, perfect timing, not on YouTube, nigga, don't cry for me, ride. You feel me, nigga? Don't go to another platform and say I learned this over here and y'all should don't cry for me, nigga. Ride, nigga. Donate, share, support. Have my name in your mouth. Perfect said this. Perfect Timing Podcast. Don't cry for me, nigga. Ride. That's what we gotta do for each other. That's what I do for Alonzo. That's what I do for Coffee. I'm not bitching. I'm not moaning. I ride for the motherfuckers who ride for me. I'm shouting out that Asian part 2, part 1. I'm shouting out Coffee. I'm shouting out Alonzo. I'm shouting out She. Don't cry for me. Ride. Nigga. And everybody forgot that shit. That's my birthday twin. 8/15, August 15th. Royal, King, Lion. Don't cry for me, nigga. Ride, nigga. Action. Activity. Diligence. Vigilance. Be a vigilante. Yeah, they taking my content. Like bandits and thieves in the night. Bastardizing the shit. Putting sprinkles on it and whipped cream, serving it up to you. But it's your fault. G last night was saying about how many books he read. Ain't nobody gonna serve him up nothing, no poo sandwich with sprinkles. He's too well read. He's too much of an intellectual. And tonight, what did my little brother say? It's about you. It's on you. It's not about pointing the finger at the women and relationships. It's about you. Fine tuning yourself this journey so somebody can't just sell you shit with sprinkles on it. You have discernment. Don't talk about the wheat and the weed if you're not gonna bring up the scripture. Then angry man gonna talk about $50,000 ain't enough. Remember when I broke down with the farm bill? They took my video. These videos are so influential with my small little channel. G called me on the phone. Gerald called me on the phone about how powerful the farm video was and how much he loved my channel. That no one is doing discussions like this about the black farmers. Took down my video about the black farmers, where I challenged you on your understanding of $1 billion, $1 trillion, and what $50,000 is. So now him and BGS is talking about 50,000 ain't enough. I'm not gonna cuss him out. I'm not. Because the video is still up and you can still learn, because I won that appeal. I won that appeal. We won that appeal, perfect men. The Black Farmers video is still up with my little brother G up there giving all that game. The Black Farmers video is back up now. We can understand and learn about the only lawsuit where we won that amount of money, a reparations amount of money. That's the type of things we're talking about. That's what's getting done over here. The choice is yours. The world is yours podcast. Shout out to Nas. Let me say my prayer as I close. God, thank you for this opportunity once again to come to you. Thank you for Divinely Inspired a podcast. Please, Father God, keep a vigilant watch over my brother and all of my listeners who are driving while listening on the highways and byways. I pray for successful endeavors for all their deliveries and passengers. Thank you again for watching over the platform, keeping us on message, keeping us progressive, keeping us in the understanding that it is a race and awarding us prizes every day. We know that we could be anywhere right now. So many accidents. We had rain, storms, floods. I've seen so many calamities, deaths, and every day you see fit for me to be here and to be a student, to be a sword, to be a megaphone. And I say thank you. Thank you for watching over me and my flock. I pray that the message is effective, and I pray that those who hear the message are blessed. I ask all these blessings in your name. Amen. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We out.